exploded.
I still have a billion woof just because I
Right.
wanted to say I have a billion. I was never expecting it to be as worth as much as it is, but
Yeah. That's the amount. I think I sold 750 million of my billion. I kept 250 million,
Wow.
but I moved it into OVN. That pool just like
You're a billionaire.
cooked. That is really cool though. I am a little jealous that you have so many woof. And if it does blow up big, like you're gonna be sitting on serious like money, whereas I'm gonna be like, you know, I'll have some like play money, but you'd have some like, vacation money or something.
Uh, uh, what Lewis
Like I
has more?
Lewis has a billion, he said.
I think I
Billion.
got like 3 or 4 billion from the airdrop for the
Yeah.
claim.
I got 1.6 billion from the airdrop or something, which is still like it was great at the time. I think if I had just held it all, it would be worth more than double the amount of wax that I held to get the airdrop in the first place.
Yeah, I should
Like,
have, in retrospect, sold all of my staked wax and bought all woof, but
yeah, like,
I
seriously.
was not expecting it to woof to outperform the blockchain it was launched on.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, if you just held the wax or if you just held the woof from the airdrop, the woof is worth more than the wax that you had to have to get that airdrop.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy how much that outperformed. But I sold half mine on day one, and then I paired it in the LP, and I don't regret that for a second. I think it was like a risk managed approach, and I still did really well.
yeah. I think I have. I mean, whatever I got at airdrop, I still have the LP with wax. I mean, in terms of percentage, I think like I got airdropped only some like whatever, $15 or something, or $20 maybe, and now it's like worth
Yeah,
45. So I mean, it like more than doubled.
yeah, yeah, right.
So
And then
like,
it's like, how much was the wax worth, or the total wax that you have staked that got you the airdrop? Is that more than
it
at this
was
point?
like what was it, like 1,000, right?
Yeah, a
Wasn't
thousand
that
wax, which
I did exactly like 1,000.
yeah, which right now 1,000 wax, that's only $40. So your liquidity pool is worth 45. It's worth more than your entire wax stake to get the airdrop.
Yeah, totally. I actually like just closed the pool when I shared the when we scaled out. Basically, we sold the top. I was like, I can always like buy back in if I want to at the bottom,
Yeah.
you know, like I because I'm like, okay, profit wise, it's like double the money, so I keep it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm still staking all my wax, which has definitely been a mistake. Got 80,000 staked wax. Not looking so good right now.
Bear market stake.
Yep. I'm getting like 8% on it. If it ever recovers, it's not nothing.
There's always that one coin, wax, Decred, red coin.
Yeah. I held on.
The
It's all about
the
that
path.
sentimental, dude. I was so like, I don't know. You gotta like not care about the tech behind stuff or the hype. It's all about just the money at the moment. Like the way the market looks dictates what's gonna
Totally.
happen. Way more than like, oh, the tech is fucking great. I still love Decred and what they're building, but at the end of the day, it's like you gotta
All of the
have like
marketing, yeah.
hype. You gotta have hype and money, and it's not about good tech. But
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, like, like the coins that have actually like stayed on top and have survived multiple cycles has just been Bitcoin and ETH so far.
yeah,
If you just look at it, if
that's
you
why
just look at the
these.
rankings, like those have just been like 1, 2 constantly, but
That's
none
why
of the
these
other,
days I focus on
yeah,
those mostly as well.
you know,
And like
and
just
everything
focusing.
is like built on ETH. So like Bitcoin is just there, but nothing's happening in Bitcoin. That's probably why the network fees is like so low. I was like, ah, let me see what I had some like Bitcoin from back in the day in my hardware wallet, some point 0.55 or something. I don't know, something like that. Some, it was worth like 5K or something. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let me like sell some of it because like I was like, I've been holding it for years. I forgot about it, right? And I was like, okay, lower high, might as well cash some of it out. And so I swapped it, and I was like, okay, the network fee is only like $1 or $2 or something. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh damn, I've never, that's super low for Bitcoin. It's
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah. I was
way
checking.
lesser than like ETH and stuff. And then I was like, okay, that's because nobody's like really transferring anything on Bitcoin.
Crazy that that's
Yeah.
cheap, but it's still like that's way too expensive to like if you went every time you wanted to go buy like a Coke and had to pay $1 tax like every time, like it's
Yeah.
not functional as a
Yeah.
currency, but like it's funny that's cheap in crypto because Ether can be like 20-30 bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
For real.
It's
It's
like,
definitely. Yeah. It's relatively cheap again lately. Like I was moving some Bitcoin out of the Bitcoin blockchain to move it like into the Ethereum just because I want to like trade with it
yeah,
and like to do it into the wrapper, and I think it was like $1.70 or $1.80 in Bitcoin like transaction fees to do those on-chain transactions.
yeah.
It's not bad, not
It's
bad at all. Although I don't know, it is pretty complicated to actually wrap Bitcoin into Ethereum. That was nerve-wracking. I don't really like.
I still don't know how to do that. Like the WBTC or whatever.
Yeah, WBTC. It's basically, I mean, there's like there's a Bitcoin wallet
Mhm.
that shows or that you send Bitcoin to, and then there's an Ethereum wallet that mints WBTC 1-to-1 with however many Bitcoin are in, the Bitcoin wallet gets controlled by the Wrap Bitcoin protocol.
And
It's, but then, how it's done and how you interact with it can get kind of complicated.
I see.
Here we go. Okay, I'm curious. When I look in, oh no, okay, it is updating. I was just looking on the wrong screen. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
let's
weird.
see.
The main window with like all of us, that's kind of blurred for me. I'm like,
Uh,
why can't that window be the clear one?
It's
And the
supposed to
others.
save CPU resources because like my computer has to load all of this and we have to load it twice through the OBS and then also through that website. It's taking twice the resources.
yeah, if you look at it on stream, it looks pretty clear
If you just
actually.
go to like Twitch Neon Space and watch us through that, you'll see.
Let me see what that.
I assume it looks good. I haven't actually checked. Watch it also just be blurry there.
Yeah, I checked it out.
Checking.
I also added my next Amazon Prime sub.
Was
I
that
was hoping to hear it do the audio cue, but whatever.
Should have popped up when somebody followed. It popped up.
your Prime sub?
I don't see you have subscribed. It didn't
Hmm?
pop up on the alerts yet, so maybe it's just loading. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch sub every month that you can give to streamers.
Oh,
You just give Bezos bucks directly to your favorite streamer.
Yeah,
Bezos plus.
you have to do it. You have to do it every month though, and if you like, there's no way to auto
Yeah,
like
if you
do
pay
it,
with your
so you have
credit
to
card or
manually do it.
whatever, like it'll auto renew every month. You don't have to actually click it, but like if you're using their money, you have to manually go do it each month. They're like, we're not going to make
I
this easy for you to just funnel money into people.
see.
Yeah, it is cool though. So I have Amazon Prime, so I just used my free subscription to subscribe to Neon Space.
I used to do that too, but I canceled my Prime once they made groceries less good to buy. Like screw you, Amazon, ruining my grocery delivery experience. It was too good to
Wait,
be true for a
are
while.
we live yet or
Oh yeah, we're
no?
live.
Yeah, yeah,
I was just
trickling
wondering.
in.
We got people in the
I was
chat. Mocha says the whole financial advisor team is here today. I don't know if you see that giant thing in the top left. It says not financial advice. So I know he's joking,
Yeah.
but got Caesar in the chat. Boom Shankar, Meet the Artist, Buzz King. We got Random King and Buzz King. Kings have returned. Popping stocks here.
Kings. What's going on? I'm just
So,
like cycling through this Bitcoin chart in the background right now. Well, right now it's Bitcoin. It was Wax for a minute. The Wax chart looks very sad. Here, if I set our levels to like, oh man. So we've been charting like this Wax for a long time. And we've been above this bottom red channel for so long, and this week
yeah.
we nuked all the way to our like bear market floor here, the purple line we had drawn.
Thanks,
God.
BTC.
Yeah, tanking us. Oof, RIP. But yeah, I mean, just like we expected, if that, this was definitely like where we had support.
Yeah.
And when the support failed, it was kind of a free fall to the next like level down, which is where
Yeah.
we are right now. And that's like where we are right now. I'm going to move that line a little bit to kind of like line up to where it is. Where we are right now, that's the like kind of last floor. If we fall below that, then it's
Yeah, the only hope is
free
like
fall potentially to next.
next whatever abyss. There's no
Yeah,
support,
wherever the next support is.
but if it does fall through, I mean, if it does fall below support, then the hope is that like it deviates back up at some point, and then that's the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, let me see the Wax chart.
It's also bad for the way the WAC ecosystem works because blockchain producers are
There you
paid
go.
in wax tethered to US dollars. So the cheaper wax gets,
Yeah.
the more wax gets paid to the blockchain producers, and then the more the sell pressure becomes. So like it's good for like the inflation gets better as the price goes up because you pay less to the blockchain producers, but the opposite is
Yeah.
true if it goes down, where it's like, okay, now more wax is getting sold every month because they have to cover their operation costs to run the network, and they're selling higher numbers of wax, which is not
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah. This
I mean,
weekly
something
chart is
like
also
this.
looking.
Let me
We
show
got
your
a
What?
screen,
bear on
Sid.
the
Oh yeah, let me see what you're showing. Okay, yeah.
like if it that's like all-time support, right, for Wax, and we are like hanging on the spank band. The good thing is that
Yeah.
like it looks oversold, so that's good.
It
The
does,
stock,
yeah.
but
You're on the
the
weekly
hope
chart,
is,
right?
yeah, on the weekly chart, the big trend line that we had from like 2022, which like it broke. It looked like it was breaking out, but then it failed
Yeah, it
to
did.
cross this range. It like wicked exactly, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, it tapped it, and
So it's
then it
basically
was
just ranging in this huge range for the
yep,
last like 4 years, 3
exactly.
years.
So like from the bottom to the top, it's like to 40%, something like that. So I mean,
Yeah.
so if if you did like see this range, then you could have just like bought here and then sold at the top whenever. Like it's an easy,
Yeah.
it's a sort of like easy play as long as it stayed in the range. But now it's like, so if it does lose the range, and that would
Yeah.
be there's no support below that, then like it goes wherever, I don't know, like a psychological number, maybe like 0.02, something like that, like a whole
Yeah.
number is
Oof.
usually a psychological number. Uh, I mean, I would say like typically like what alts correct, like maybe 30, 40%, something like that, right?
Yeah, for
So
losing that channel, probably like 20-30% below it, I'd say.
so that would be like 0.02 or something. And then it forms a base, and then like it reclaims the range. And so if it like goes back into the range, then this the move outside would be a deviation. And when you get a deviation like that, it's like under and above, then that's like bullish, you know what I mean? Like this was like, if you look at it, like the opposite is true. Like if it's like bearish, let me see. Look at this is like ETH on the monthly, but like you
Yeah.
see, like this is like ETH support. So price went up and now like it's below this support. So that would be like a bearish deviation, like
Yeah.
above it and below. So similarly, if wax gets a bullish deviation, then that's good. But then it just, but it's a lot of pain to get there. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Lots.
another like
You get that deviation is like another basically like
20, 40%,
opportunity to sell the bottom.
whatever.
Like
So,
if you
yeah,
haven't, I feel like if you've been holding on to wax all the way to this point,
yeah, don't
that
sell it.
last,
I
yeah,
don't know
that's
if
like
it's
the last,
like we could have sold like way back in the day, not
yeah.
like
It
here
fall
wouldn't be a
like you
good
want to
time.
sell near the top of those ranges rather than the bottom. That's
Hmm.
for sure.
Exactly. So like,
It's definitely also like that's the type of price action that shakes out like, the last of the people who are gonna sell, and then generally like there's
yeah,
no one left to sell.
it's
Although
usually,
like, oh god,
yeah. I was gonna say like it's usually, I think like it's called a spring. That's like a shakeout where it goes the other way and then it goes back up. It's like
yeah,
a lot of like
that's what,
accumulation, or uh like the Wyckoff accumulation and stuff. Like
yeah,
there'll be a thing down where it like goes outside the range and then goes back in. That's called a spring usually. Like, but yeah, like see, like we went above the trend line and lost it again, and this would be like
yeah.
a bearish deviation,
You can
like the
also
whole
see
thing.
like the sell-off accelerating after the trend line gets lost, similar to how when we
Hmm.
were looking at the chart on the daily earlier, where I was looking at the like long-term like support on the bottom of that range. When that got lost, it kind of
Like
started to
the
free
daily.
fall. So yeah,
Oh, you mean
yeah,
here?
like yeah, exactly there.
So if market, like,
Like
oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was kind of like the bottom of our trend, and we've been tracking that. And honestly, like, because that bottom of the trend was coinciding with the trend line, like you have it there now, and
Yeah,
you can like the hope was that we would bounce where the
yeah,
like price meets the trend line, meets the meets the
yeah,
support level.
exactly.
That would have been the bounce moment, and since we failed there, it like free fell.
Accelerated.
It's the
So I guess
opposite
like,
happened.
yeah, probably like then like there was like maybe people had stops here or whatever, and then like like a bigger push, it broke whatever wall that was there. And that's probably why
Yeah,
it accelerated too.
I think there is future markets for wax at Binance. Like you can
Yeah, this
trade
is like the
perpetual.
Binance chart. Even if it's like, I think even without, even like spot, like Binance has like stop limits and stuff, right? Or like
Yeah. Oh,
stop
that's true. Yeah.
orders, whatever. I mean, a lot of those like cascading liquidations can be like from that to, it can be from like
Yeah,
spot.
that's true.
Um,
So that's kind of like,
yeah,
yeah, that like we were definitely like looking for the similar targets than we were charting this every week here, like looking kind of at that level as our like hopefully the bouncing, like we were looking for that SR flip, but this week it's proving that that wasn't the case, and so we got rejected, and now it looks pretty sad. I think like I'm a little nervous about like I mean I'm not looking to sell wax at the moment, but I am like definitely also not like aping into it right now. It looks like we have a chance to maybe get like,
yeah. Like I wouldn't like buy the dip here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's like
it's
Bitcoin
more
needs the
like,
bottom, and then
yeah,
I
you
would
want to
like
switch
buy
to the
the.
Bitcoin chart. Let's look at Bitcoin.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, and this is something I shared. Like I don't know if you want to go through that first.
Oh
or-
yeah. Let's look at that.
Uh, so this is like something like, I guess like for bigger like long term, uh like a long term read on the market. I mean, it's good to
Yeah.
look at like higher time frame charts, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
you know,
Basically,
like
the way I always think is like the higher the time frame chart, like the more weight the trend has. So like if you see a bullish trend in like the longer time frames, then generally the sentiment should be biased more bullish. And the shorter time frame stuff starts to look more bearish, well, as long as it looks bullish and holds up in the longer time frames, I would maintain like a general bullish sentiment. Kind of like
yeah,
how
so
I
like
see it.
so typically I guess like weekly is a good time frame to look at, like the weekly chart, and
Yeah.
like monthly to like bias, but like weekly is like pretty good to start with to. But anyway, I was like tracking the chart, and this is something I'd shared earlier. Um, but yeah, like ever since we got like a bull signal, right, with our indicator, the trading buddy,
Yeah.
like it's just been on a upswing. I think we that marked the bottom for the bear market, and then it went into a bull market. And this is like
Yep.
Bitcoin on the left, ETH on the right. And then like each time prices like we've had pullbacks, and then it keeps
Yep.
bouncing, or at least like the strength band keeps holding. So I think, so what I saw was that like, but if you look at it like generally, I know it's still on like bull, but if
Yeah.
you look like here, it started making a lower high on both ETH and Bitcoin. Like you
Yeah.
could see like two peaks. So either a double top or a lower high. So either of it is not, is at least shows like, okay, it could be a potentially a trend reversal, or a potential like at least like top.
Yeah,
So
both a double top or a like lower high are both bearish signals basically.
mhm, we
So
can
while it is still like the general trend is still signaling bullish, it is giving us kind of first indications here of some bearish like long time frame trend change where it's like, oh, possibly we
exactly.
flip.
So this
So
is like the weekly chart. So so I mean you could get the same thing like on the hourly or like lower time frames, and that doesn't help us if you're like more like just buy and hold. You're not day trading it, then those lower time frames don't matter. But like the weekly,
yeah.
and we've been at like solid profits from our like spot buy at the bottom. So I mean,
Oh
so
yeah,
I've
exactly. That's why it's
so
also
like
easy to like start to scale out here, even though we are still like generally in a bullish signaling here. It's also starting to look like it's the signal that we're reversing the trend a little, and
mhm,
so an opportunity to maybe take profits near the top, uh, potentially at this point. So that's kind of like that's what I also started doing a little bit of. Like I rotated some of my ETH and Bitcoin well into like short sold positions in ETH and Bitcoin, but I'm just short 1x with the
yeah, yeah,
collateral counterpart. So it's basically just like I sold those assets and I'm waiting to buy back lower,
nice.
is the idea there.
Yeah, like last
um
time when we sold the first peak, I mean we did pretty well because like like
yeah,
we got close to top, and then we bought pretty much the bottom when like the price actually fell to
yeah,
the
to the
strength
band.
band. And I
Yeah, we
remember
bought.
like sharing with you guys like, and that ended up being the bottom way before like the ETF pump and stuff. So
Yeah,
I think something similar could happen where like it falls back down here. So like ETH, that's around like 3K, and I don't know, Bitcoin is what, less
yeah,
than
ETH.
60,000.
I feel like if we fall with ETH, it would be like 3 to 3,100 or something, because we would be then looking to make
Hmm.
a higher low,
Yeah,
because that's the
that
next
would be
step here.
promising if you make a higher low.
Yeah. Because that's the
Then
next step here in the bullish continuation of the bullish trend. We want to see a higher low now. We've got, obviously we got a higher high, and now it's like, okay, we got a lower high, and if we're gonna pull back,
so
it needs to also make a higher low. to
Yeah,
then
for it to
basically come back with a higher high.
yeah, so or like usually I've noticed that what happens is that if you start making lower highs but start failing to make lower lows, then that means it's just like going to compress. So we could
Oh yeah. So
so
you get like a
so
wedge kind of a thing
you
again.
get like a wedge kind of pattern. So you see
Yeah.
like because this will like slope down, this will like slope up. Like visually we're able to see this, like that's why it helps.
Yeah.
So
I
like
think so too.
so like if you get then that kind of thing going on the weekly, then that could be considered like it could break up or down,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't know what the result is going to be, but I at least that means that like it's trying to hold, and there's at least a chance of it like then breaking up and then continuing the
Yeah.
like the second
Especially
move
looking
up,
especially looking at that weekly ETH chart, it looks so, like a steep jump with a retrace, then a steep jump to make a lower high, and the retrace is barely starting. So it
Yeah,
feels like we have at least a couple weeks left of like that retrace on that weekly chart to then, maybe make that higher low and,
right.
start that wedge pattern. But either way, it does look like the next week or so is going to look a little more red than green according to the weekly like time frame.
Yeah, I think, and there's also like monthly close coming up in like what 10 days or something. But like, uh, but yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's right.
like, huh?
That's right. Monthly close. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
that's
monthly close. It's been a while since
we
I
can
checked
look
that
at
one.
the monthly, but we'll have to see how that looks. But I think like the important thing is like it needs to hold above our like the maxi indicators strength band,
Yeah, the strength band. That's where I'm always
and
looking
then
for support, especially on the monthly.
stay bull. Like if we lose that, then it's gonna be like into a it's gonna go back into like a deeper like you're gonna get a deeper pullback, and then it
Yeah,
just
deeper
means like a
pullback and maybe yeah,
longer downtrend.
and then you
And
could get like several months of like a downtrend before we kind of like still bottom out and like find support again, probably around like weekly support, like
yeah,
maybe a
like
little bit below, but like previous weekly support. So like for Bitcoin, I'd be looking at like I don't know 48,000 ish.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
so
like
like
that,
if
like
we
what we
do
have up there. Perfect.
yeah, so like if we do like if we don't so here's the thing, like if it now this bearish sort of like outlook is invalidated if it like if we get a weekly candle above this like resistance. So it's failed to cross it, right? Each time it keeps getting rejected. And it's the
Yeah,
same line that it drew out a long time ago. It just keeps failing to cross it. So if it closes above, then like, that the downtrend is kind of like invalidated. So if it doesn't,
yeah,
and if it goes into this like choppy downtrend thing, and this is at least like what I'm guessing with Bitcoin. And it I've just drawn like
yeah,
two arcs, and like it depends if it's like if the pull if we don't lose the weekly strength band and that acts as support, but we just keep like ranging and chopping, then the then it's gonna be like less deep, right? The pullback. It's just gonna be
right.
like chop in the range, and then I don't know, maybe like start forming a base at the end of the year, and then like slowly start going up
Yeah,
into like a second parabolic move. Or if we
yeah,
lose, or if we lose the strength band, then it's like we go deeper down to like I don't know, like in the 50s, 40s, 40 something, around
yeah.
there,
That
which
would
would
almost
be
be like how 2019 ish into
yep.
2020 played out, where like we moved, like
So
Bitcoin went from like what was it like?
so here,
Let's see.
so I have this
Yeah,
too.
yeah, there
Can
you
you
go.
drag it
Yeah,
down a little
perfect.
bit?
Oh,
Because
drag it down.
our faces are covering it.
Oh wait, like this.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just the
make it
top
a
of the chart
little-
is where our faces are on the screen.
I see it now. Let me rescale it.
It looks like is that called the Nike swoosh, the just do it movement?
We're calling it the Maxi Way model. But this, like, if you see like the long term sort of like um, price action of Bitcoin, this is the monthly. But then it's not. It's maybe you can explain what the log chart is, Max. But this is on the
Yeah,
log.
this is the log chart for Bitcoin's price action since pretty much the inception of the price action being tracked by, I think, Bitstamp. So this goes all the way back to Bitcoin at like $100 or something.
Yeah,
But the difference between like a regular chart and a logarithmic chart
$10.
is that the x-axis, I'm sorry, the y-axis, the up and down like axis there, instead of being like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or like 10, 20, 30 or whatever, like how you'd see those increments on a log scale, it would go 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000. And so the gaps between each of those increments is the same. So the gap between 10,000 and 100,000 is the same as the gap between 1 and 10. So in a logarithmic chart, you have this much more compressed kind of look to it, and that's why it looks a lot more, like here the peaks and valleys look a lot less jagged than they would on a linear chart. If you were to chart the same information without the logarithmic curve, you would get like really steep spikes and valleys as we go from $100 to $70,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like the monthly uh, chart, and like if you notice, like the base of it, like we've been trading in this sort of like, I don't know, like a banana sort of like pattern.
Yeah. And
Uh,
the swoosh, the Nike swoosh.
yeah, the Nike swoosh, the inverted swoosh. But yeah, like this is a way to like sort of like, as long as it stays within this like sort of channel, it we can use this to like kind of estimate what the the
Yeah.
all-time
This is kind of
support
like
and the top would be.
the model that we're tracking to see as Bitcoin approaches like the bull market targets that a lot of like people are projecting around like 100 to 100 like 70 $80,000 per token. This is kind of like the range that we're expecting to see Bitcoin trading in to get to those targets. And you can
Yeah, so
see
like
and
if you like, if we still like follow the same sort of like 4-year cycle, right, of
yeah,
like bull and bear markets, so that
yeah,
would put the sort of like peak at around the end of next year. So for it to like get to the top of this channel at the end of next year, it puts it around like 130K or something, like 135, something around there.
yeah, which
So,
is kind of where people are projecting it, like at least the bull cases being
well,
there
there are
for it
like
to get there.
people saying it's gonna be 2 million and shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's people saying all sorts of shit. I guess we can find people
from
saying whatever
our,
the fuck we want.
yeah, exactly. They're like crazy. But like, yeah. So if it does like go into this like choppy range, or like it does like a deeper like
Yeah.
pullback,
What's the
then
bottom of
see.
that
Oh, here.
hump?
The bottom would be like it's like this same thing. So this is zoomed in version. So that would be around like, I don't know, 40 something, like, so like 45K
That's still
something,
a pretty
46.
substantial pullback from where we are now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
Yeah, like
like,
45. That's about what I was thinking too, because that is also if you like look at the regular like linear chart, like in the last bull market when we also had a kind of a double top playing out, that range is where that support was found between the double tops, and also before the final sell off,
yeah, so I
which
think
40 about 50,000 to 45,000 is that like support range, and that it's I'd
that
say
would also,
around
yeah, that would
yeah.
also like put the price above our like monthly strength band. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it
Keeping
would,
it bullish, but keeping it like yeah, you have the long-term chart is definitely bullish still, meaning that we will probably still get the play out of, Bitcoin maybe hitting that 130,000 by like next year, end of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like December, right? Isn't that where that model would kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
project? That's where
Bit,
like
bit,
the cycle generally would peak out, generally speaking, if we're following the same 4-year pattern that has been set in place kind of by I guess the stock to flow model based on like Bitcoin halving. But yeah, that's kind of like
yeah, like
the this.
if you look at like let me see, like I had something where like basically, well, so in the past Bitcoin has kind of done this too. Like here's the
Yeah.
other thing. So like the blue lines that I've marked is like the halving dates. So after like every like Bitcoin halving, it tends to like chop around for like months and end. So this is after the halving, right in 2012, and then it
Yeah.
starts the parabolic sort of like when like things start going crazy. And like say this was like in the 2016 halving, and then if you look at it, like price didn't really sort of like move beyond this certain range, even though it was very volatile. Like it went down up, but
How long
like
is that period of
Yeah.
time?
it's like 161 days.
Okay, so that's pretty significant.
So 147 was in 2020. So like the last, and so like if we're like, and this was like the COVID crash, right? And then like
Yeah.
we had the halving, and then like it just like see it made a high, and then it went back down, and then it did all this stuff, but like that's just like choppy for like 147, around 147 days before like actually we started the next, like
How many days are we
the
past the
block up.
halving now?
I don't know, it says April 15th, right? How many days?
Maybe like
Yeah.
60 days past it?
So is that
Yeah.
like,
Coming up on that.
so I don't know if you're like halfway through or whatever. So like, but
That's
but
still
but
in line with where we would expect now, kind of like a sideways or a pullback to kind of create that choppy zone for the next
yeah,
like 2-3
exactly.
months, basically.
Because if you look at it like last, after the like last bull market too, we had like, you see like all this area, like it didn't really do much. Even though
Yeah.
it still ended in the green here, but like, but it
I do feel
wasn't like,
like this time, particularly, people like front ran the halving a little harder.
yeah,
I feel like the market's
Yeah.
getting more like, okay, we've seen this happen pattern 3 times in a row, so people are like, let's front run it this time. And then I think like, I don't know, maybe because people are taking profits from front running it, it's a little choppier. But I don't know.
but I think also like
I think so.
the whole like Bitcoin like ETF thing like helped with the front running. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I
true.
mean? So like
Yeah,
I think
that is
that's
true.
also what happened. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's definitely an interesting like combination of like positive things that all lined up with like the ETF. And even now where it's like the market is definitely like been signaling, like a double top and stuff already. But then yesterday we got the news of like the SEC dropped the lawsuit against Ethereum. So
yeah,
they're no longer gonna like, suggest that ETH is a security, and they're not gonna continue that, which is also like a crazy bullish thing, but also I don't know, at the same time, like everybody who like knew about what ETH was already didn't expect that was gonna go anywhere. Like
exactly.
it's so I don't know, like it's definitely an interesting time. But I think watching the charts and following the charts has played out really like well for us in general. And looking at those charts now, it does look like we're at a moment where it might not, it might keep pumping and we'll all do really well, but it's also like signaling signs that this is an opportunity to like off risk a little bit and maybe capture some of the profits that we've seen from this crazy nice run up and from participating in it. And we don't necessarily have to wait for like the weekly or the longer time frames to turn much more bearish to act
Yeah.
on what we already see on the chart right now. Like you're seeing that double top does look relatively confirmed at this point here with on the weekly already. So
Yeah. And
I
if you
sold a
look
we
bunch
are
of my
definitely
ETH. I feel like it's better safe than sorry as far as like I've been holding on to that
yeah
ETH for a long time and it's worth a lot more than I paid for. So I'd rather lock in
yeah
some profits now and see what happens than just be all
right,
in ride.
yeah, and there's
like
no reason to like do all or nothing too. Like you can sell half or a quarter or some amount. And that's all we were kind of like encouraging at the moment is like, hey, these markets are looking bullish on the long term, but the medium and the shorter term are starting to signal a top here, and that local top is, this is the capitalization moment for those
yeah,
times,
exactly.
which of course is up to each individual, and we're not telling you what to do with your money because this is not financial advice.
Right. And
But
it's like,
it is really fun to see, and the markets
I mean,
are
last time we did like, I mean, like the first peak when it like dropped, like I ended up buying like ETH like more than 20% discount, you know.
yeah, exactly, and
And
it's
then
all
I was
because
like,
we
okay,
also
that
off
worked
risk.
too great.
Last time we off risked in a similar fashion where it was like, okay, we've done a really nice run. Let's like
Yeah,
see what happens here. And I feel like you can even see it just on the chart you have up that last time. It was like, what was that? Like around July or something, 2023.
oh, you're looking
Like
at the
when
BTC
we, oh yeah,
or
BTC. Let's see if it's ETH. Oh, ETH did not have that same thing. That was a Bitcoin. But in Bitcoin in July, you see like a similar like double top where we got like a pullback just to the
oh yeah, yeah.
band. You got to pull back to the strength band and then continued the trend up. But
Oh,
that
you're
would be
talking about
almost
like
similar to
2021?
is that 21? No. No,
Are you talking about
2023.
the last improvement
On the weekly chart like July
from May, June, July? Oh, here?
2023.
Oh, here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
see
I
how
see
you
it
have kind of like an like that double top like McDonald's golden arch kind of forming there.
now. Yeah,
And then it pulls back to the
and
strength
then it
band,
held.
finds
Yeah,
support, and then continues to move up. And now, if you look at the top where we're at of that same chart, it's doing a similar like golden arches, double top, which can
yeah.
then be followed by that same sell off down to the strength band, which, like you said last time, we did something similar on ETH, and we're able to sell and then re-enter like 20% lower. So
Yeah, exactly. So I
just
mean,
kind
so
of
like,
looking,
so if
yeah,
it does
looking.
like fall all the way to the strength band, that would be like 14, 15%
Great,
cheaper. I mean, I'll take that.
right?
Uh-huh. Or
Yeah.
or if it goes all the way to if it loses that and then it ends up going all the way to the monthly, that would be still like 27, 28%.
Yeah, exactly. So if we do some like combination of that or some in between of that, it's like, again, 15 to 20% is very reasonable to expect
Right.
from, participating in like more active trading with your position. And then like that involves, paying attention to when the markets are signaling opportunities to off risk.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we're seeing here, especially like with the way the last week or so has been playing out.
Also,
Let's say like the last 2 or 3 weeks have been playing out. It's starting to look like, we're getting our opportunity to maybe take some profits off the table and
right.
ride this down a little bit.
Because like ETH is also in this like long term sort of like wedge thing.
Yeah,
So like
that's
for it
is that the
to
monthly
like ever
chart?
since, yeah, that's the monthly, and like ever since
Damn.
inception. So like, um, I mean, like just
Damn.
connected.
That, that first run up, I was there for that, yo.
Hey,
I bought
that's
my ETH. I bought my ETH for $19, and then it went up to $1,000.
it's crazy.
It was so crazy.
Yeah, so like I'm hoping it doesn't like sort of like lose this big, like if even if that like price were to like fall down to the base of it, where
Yeah.
actually the strength band also like lines up.
Oh,
That would
lines up there
still,
too.
yeah.
So this
So
is
like
making a similar kind of perfect thing where it's like we're expecting that bounce there, but if it doesn't
25%.
bounce, there and it loses it, then you could get a pretty like an accelerated sell off as well, where we get
Yeah,
like what we
the
saw in
grand.
Wax this week, like how Wax lost its support and then took a nice big dump.
Yeah, I mean that's why like Bitcoin and ETH are gonna dump lesser than all the other
Yeah,
altcoins.
that too.
That's why we call it a blue chip. Like
Yeah,
say from here to the base of this wedge, like that's about like 20-25% for ETH.
yeah.
So like it would probably be like way more for Wax if something like that were to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then the nice thing about when ETH or Bitcoin have those moves, and if you end up on the wrong side of it, like you end up holding ETH and Bitcoin, which isn't like a terrible position to be in. If like me,
Right.
you're like a long-term bull on these like assets anyway. Where it's
Right.
like, okay, worst case scenario, okay, I'm holding on to some Bitcoin that I got at like 66K, which I think, if 10 years from now, I won't be mad about that either. So, if you have like investment runway for like a 10-year hold like that, then your risk tolerance is a lot different.
Yeah, let's look
So
at Wax.
yeah,
Oh.
let's see. Yeah, let's look at Wax because I want to see what should we do to like mitigate our exposure to the potential like further downside here. We have a wallet that we started with 100 Wax,
You want me to flip over to
and it
your
was
screen,
about
Max?
let's leave on Sid's for a second because he's looking at the
Okay.
Wax price. I just want to give him a quick overview of what we want to do with this. So the goal of the wallet, Sid, is to make more Wax, not
Okay.
more dollars. So if Wax drops in value, that's whatever. We want more Wax with this wallet. And
So what's it
last,
pulled against?
so I guess right now, I guess I can show you. I guess we can toggle over to my screen because I have it up.
So I'll need to look into
Bam.
where
So
can
on
I
my
track that?
screen. So we have since last week we have been farming 3 separate pools. Right now, Wax LSW. So LSW is a liquid staking derivative, like wrapped staked ETH from Lido.
Okay.
So this is basically just staked Wax and Wax. And this position, super tight liquidity, but this is basically exclusively Wax exposure, and there's no incentives for this. So we could maybe do better than this. And then the majority of it is in Wax Woof. And then we also did Wax Booty Wax last week because we were talking about it on stream with somebody in the chat who was suggesting
These
trying out this
random.
farm. And if we look, the farm was paying 273% APR.
That's good.
And so we're like, okay, for that high APR, we'll give it a try. And it's weird because right now I'm not seeing like the stake rewards from that.
There's a claim button.
But I guess the first thing I want to do is claim the rewards that we've made from being in these farms all week. Let's
Did
go
you
back to
stake your
earn.
position for your Wax Woof, Sid? I don't know if you knew that. You can farm extra
I'm
tokens for it.
LPing. Let me see. What did I?
The LP, you have to go and like stake it to the farm section, and then
Oh
you
yeah, I just like closed the LP as soon as I saw this like double top
Oh,
with
okay.
Bitcoin. But I was like farming Wax and Woof, the free Woof tokens.
And there's a couple
that I
extra
got.
tokens, like I think like the Pixel Journey token or something, and a bunch of Wax stuff.
Oh. Right now, I swapped it to the Wax USDT to lock it as stables, and then once like the market bottoms, then I can like buy whatever with it.
I have minus 12 Woof in rewards right now. Minus 7. All right. Looks like I claimed the Woof. Okay, so that was the farm. So I'm in these 2 farms, and then let's see. If we go back to the pools, this Wax Booty pool. It started out. I'm curious to see how it's doing because the APR is still doing real well. So I'm curious to know what do we pay for that. It is here. We did 41 wax booty against 51 wax last week, and now we have 53 wax. Okay, so this wallet wants to make more wax, and the fact that wax booty is outperforming wax as wax is taking a dump, that's great. So we're
That's
actually
kind of sad.
we're making more wax on the wax side of the wax booty pair, and we're still earning, if we go to the farm, we're still earning 274% APR, and there's 52 days left of this APR.
How much woof did you end up getting for that?
Oh yeah, let's also check that. And then woof, we've claimed 397,000 woof. That's pretty good. So from 1 week of farming these pools, we are making let's do max. That is going to be 9.2, almost 10 wax. So 9.2 wax. Considering that we started with 100 wax, the fact that we're making almost 9% of that a week now, and it's only been like a year and a half. Good job.
Yeah,
Looking-
that's pretty good.
So if I do want to swap this first into wax, but I wouldn't do that on Alcor. I would do that on Wax on Edge because he's got some wax kickbacks for us. But either way, what do you think? So my initial thought here is
like first, where do I?
So okay, go to Wax on Edge, and he'll be able to create trading view charts for you there. But if we do woof and wax, for example, here, you can see then it creates a chart.
That app, right? Yeah.
And then you can see, yeah, that's it. Wax and Edge app. I'm also, like I said, I would swap my woof here, just because not only am I probably going to get a better deal, so I'm getting 9.26. It's the same deal because it's doing the same swap, but I'm going to get woof kickbacks for doing it here.
So
I
what
think
do
wax
I?
is going to drop more. Wouldn't you maybe want to
Yeah, that's what I was
hedge with
thinking. So it's
USDT? Maybe enter a USDT wax pool so you're buying more wax as it drops.
So I'm thinking I like what Wax Booty and Wax were doing, and I do think Woof Wax. And I'd like to get a second opinion from Sid here in a second when he's looking at the same Wolf Wax pool on the right there. Yeah, you have the chart pulled up. I think you have the chart pulled up correctly. If you toggle like the middle button to swap which one's on top and which one's on bottom.
Oh yeah, the other way around.
Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. It's already correct the way you have it there.
Oh,
that's like. Yeah, I think either way, I don't think that's how you swap it anymore. There is a way to swap it though. I forget which way it is. But either way, you have it right there. So you can see how the price of like woof is going, or wax. Woof is going up in terms of wax. On this chart.
Well, Paka's also telling us that honey and wax is at 2.7 gold honey, which I think is a pretty. I don't know if it's an all-time.
That's a really good. I think
good rate.
Anything over.
How's it going?
Yo, anything over 2, I think, is great for honey. I did I used to farm honey pretty aggressively, and the top of my range was like 2.6 or something, so I would have been all the way in wax by now. Look at that, it's actually approaching its all-time high again. Honey's all-time high is honey.
So I do wax and honey?
Yeah.
It's the token for the NFT Hive marketplace. It's like a kickback token. If you buy or sell NFTs on their marketplace, they throw you a bit of honey for your giving them the market fees.
Yeah, and I think that one's also.
Oh, that's looking good. So this is So this is honey is doing good in
terms of wax.
I think a lot of things are doing well relative to wax, as wax is just doing so shitty.
But we'll have to see if like wax does like lose that all-time support, whether like the other, because like kind of like everything is like that's the main coin and all of this is in its ecosystem, right? Like
some of it though, like Woofy is on Base and it's on Solana, so there's liquidity tethered to not just wax, so it has a little more protection. And like Brawl, Brawl is on Ethereum. We got a couple. TLM is on the BSC, the the Binance blockchain. So
Oh,
that
the
we have some like
Binance.
cross-chain tokens that those generally don't necessarily just shit immediately when Wax shits because they're not 100% tethered to the Wax blockchain.
Nice. So Honey looks pretty good because, like, at least from a chart perspective and looking at the weekly, it seems to be, this is called a rounded, sort of like a rounded bottom pattern. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
and this is like,
Here, you want to switch to Sid's screen because he's got it.
Yeah,
He drew
oh,
it
give me a
out
sec.
even.
so like this was like weekly, this was all-time weekly like resistance,
Yeah.
and then it like closed, or this week it's like there's still some days to go, but like
Breaking out.
breaking out. So that's great. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, but then you could it could like retest too, right? Like usually a breakout is followed by like a pullback retest. So if it does like pull back, let me try this out. Then the what you want to see is like a bounce on that all-time like sort of the SR flip as we call it. So like either there or like here or whatever, like something.
Yeah.
So
So
there,
that would
there.
be a decent target then also to set some limit if you wanted to buy Honey and you feel like you missed the boat at this point. You could set some limit orders around that price,
Yeah, around there.
which is like 2.45 or so.
Yeah, so like maybe set it above, so you don't get like front run. So you can do like
Yeah.
2.5 or something. I don't know. And hopefully,
2.5. Yeah.
yeah, you know, like
Yeah. And if you have
um,
some Honey, this is not a bad time to like capitalize.
It also
Like if you've been
fluctuates
holding it for this whole
pretty
time. Oh yeah.
frequently. And there's like somebody did the math at one point, like it shouldn't get above a certain number because at that point you can then sell Honey and then buy NFTs and earn more Honey through the buying and selling. Like there's a ceiling where like you can just farm it from like the rewards are worth more than the trading of the NFTs. So like it kind of has a ceiling.
what's that number?
I forget what the
You know,
number is. I feel like
It's
Wapaka
around
might
like
know that.
2.6 or something. I thought last time I was looking into that. It was like
Sheesh, nice.
over 2.
Oh, somebody said we should check
But
out this wallet Z1HQK.wham. It has sent over 6 million wax to Binance.
what, like right now?
I think that's just like the recent like part of the reason why Wax is selling off so hard is like a single wallet selling like millions of it. I'll send that to Max. You can look it up when you're done with this.
Yeah, we can. So yeah, that's Wax and Honey. What's the other one that you're asking about? Wolf, right?
A lot of
Yeah,
people
Woof and
like the
Honey.
Woof.
Woof and Wax.
Woof is the
Oh,
one that
Wolf.
it's on both Solana and Base, and there's a bridge between Wax and those two chains, so it's kind of like a. Even though it's supposed to be
I
a
think
meme
most
token,
of-
it's like a bridge token as well. I don't know. I feel like it actually has utility compared to some meme tokens that are
Oh,
just.
it's on MEXC, so it's on Spot too. Huh?
It's on a couple of centralized exchanges as well.
So let's look at it'll be easier to look at it from TradingView because then we can chart it better. So Wolf is like, it seems to be in this like strange looking channel. Let's see.
There's also, I mean, I know you guys are into charts and not news, but I think the day where they end up burning all the unclaimed Wolf is coming up really soon, so people kind of anticipate that's going to be good for the price action because it's like most of this was freely distributed. Like if you held Wax or like was it Solana? Some sort of token on Solana. It might have been Bonk or something,
Oh,
right?
Bonk. Yeah, Bonk.
I don't remember what. I'm not on the Solana, but the Wax part is if you had Wax or staked Wax, but you have to claim it. Like there's a website where you go to and claim it for having your Wax or staked Wax. And I think in July, if you have not claimed it, they're going to burn whatever's left. And I think that's like going to end up being like 10 to 30% of the entire supply is going to get burned.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be like tens of millions of dollars worth of Woof, which is gonna make for fun headlines.
So Woofy seems to be like I don't know. So there seems to be like a trend line if you look at the daily
yeah.
or the weekly. So I think like it might drop back down to whatever this is, like
I do
around.
think that the Wax team, or allegedly whoever is behind Woofy, is going to support or at least defend the Woofy price to keep this like momentum going. I would say at least for another few months. Like the team behind it, there's definitely like a liquidity push that has been pretty aggressively defending the spot price of Woofy, and there isn't that many ways to get Woofy other than buying it. Like the rewards aren't crazy high anywhere. Like it's not like being printed into oblivion like a lot of meme nonsense tokens. So
But look at also the OBV. It like literally peaked at that peak. This is like the
oh
weekly
yeah,
I'm looking at, and it's like, and even daily, like that was the same peak. So see, like June 16th. So here, like basically when it lost this, I mean, I would say, I mean,
the
but it's
OBV's not
also
making
gonna,
lower lows yet.
yeah, but this could be the start of it because like on the weekly at least, like it turns out, but like on the daily, like we'll have to see if it's gonna
Yeah,
start making like lower highs, then this area would have been sort of like the peak of it. I mean, but what's important to defend would be this trend line. And we'll
yeah,
have, if BTC doesn't like shit the bed, then it will be easier to like defend this for
that's
sure
true. That's
because
definitely
like
like I think a lot of this stuff is going to depend on how like Bitcoin and ETH do. Like if we get our bounce on like for example the like channel line there or something, then that'll help all these altcoins do well. If we lose support on Bitcoin, we'll
yeah,
probably see some pretty deep red days and people crying bear market again,
that'll
which
mark the bottom. That's usually what happens. Like, people take some time to like realize like when the bottom is, and like if either
yeah,
of these like scenarios like play out, that's like basically till the through this to the rest of this year, it's gonna like chop or like go into a downtrend.
yeah.
And
And then
that's like
it's
a
tricky.
long
It's
time.
tricky to trade. It's tricky to hold. It's tricky to like keep keep your excitement up when things are just moving sideways or even down and sideways. So this is not, again, nobody knows what happens tomorrow, but it's definitely we've had a nice run up and it's not a bad idea to lock in profits. Personally,
Yeah.
I really like covering perpetual futures and option trading, but like as a way to like hedge my crypto positions, I just put them up as collateral for, shorts on the perpetual markets or for put options on option markets. But
It's-
I feel like that's also not something most people are looking for how to do, so I won't cover that in too much detail. If that is something you want to do, jump into Maxi Discord. We can nerd out about like crazy financial strategy there.
yeah.
You want to jump back to my screen? So I'm gonna swap. I think for our wallet, I want to swap out of this Wax and LSW pool because right now that's only exposed to Wax, and Wax doesn't look like it's gonna like be that exciting to want the exposure exclusively to that pool. So
We had a few
first
questions
things
too. Let
first,
me see if I can address
cutting
those.
it.
Tissues asked,
Yeah.
from the recent Wax high of 0.066, will there be an 80% common drop to around 0.013 Wax?
Generally, I think an 80% drop follows like a parabolic breakout. So when you get a parabolic climb in price, and then the parabola fails. Shut up, Paul. He's fucking judging the way I pronounce
Parabola.
parabola.
Terrible.
Parabola. So when you
Think
have
of
a
it as like
parabolic price
parachute.
action,
So add a
para
bola to a
ball,
parachute. Think of
parabola.
it that. There we go.
Yeah. Either way, when you have a parabola and Paul is making a face. He's not. You don't even have to say anything, Paul.
Is it really parabola, not parabola? Now you got me confused.
Parabola.
That's how
Parabola,
I've
I
always
Let's
think.
heard
call
it.
it a potato. So
Yeah.
when it's in a
Yeah,
potato
he's saying it with a British accent. Parabola.
with my teeth.
Aluminium. But yeah, I would say it follows a parabolic breakout generally. An 80% correction is when you have a parabola breaking, and then from the point where it broke, you should measure an 80% drop generally, and that should also get you maybe usually around 10 to 20% above where the parabola started.
Yeah, so
I
like
don't think that's what's
usually
happening
it's
in
like
wax though. I don't think, or what do you think,
here.
Sid?
So
From the
it's like
price of 6, I don't think we're gonna see, because I don't think that was a parabola, or was it? Let me
so
guess, you got it.
which which time frame which
He's
prices
saying the
was
most
he asking?
recently it went up to like 0.06 cents.
Of like here?
Yeah.
This bit? Not the 0.012, right? Like when it
No. I
hit
also
that and
don't know that wax ever really held at that price. That might just be on that exchange specifically.
yeah, I mean it was basically like trying to hold, but it was just like ranging and like chopping around. And then like it lost it. So
Let me
like
reread the
this
question exactly. From the
yeah.
recent wax high of 0.066, will there be an 80% common drop to around 0.013?
Oh, 0.013. So I wouldn't say like this was a parabola. So basically this looks to be a sort of like a bear pennant, which actually broke down. That's what it seems to be. So that's the case. Then like 0.029 maybe the target. So what I'm doing is like, so you see this like this range, this sort of like choppy thing. It seems something like here. I'm just like connecting the wicks and stuff. So it seems to me that it was kind of like in a bear pennant, like a wedge, but it's like bearish. And then when if it breaks down, you measure like the top. It's called a flagpole. That's what because it just like looks like a flagpole, and then you like extend it all the way to the other side, and then that's how you can like sort of like measure the target. That would put it at like 0.031 something if if it
Yeah.
plays out completely.
And
So
then
yeah,
you
there you
want
go.
to generally you'd see it after this start moving sideways again,
Mhm.
where you would kind of look for the next breakdown, and then like the way we talk about it in our
Yeah,
Discord is always like trading it level to level.
level to level, or like it deviates
Yeah.
back up, which is bullish. But like, but say like the last like bull market or whatever, like if you look at wax, like it was because it kind of looks like a parabola. Say like if you look at it, it wasn't a parabola the last bull market. You're talking
Yeah.
about like the 60 to 80%, like the usually it can fall anywhere between 60 to 80% once the parabolic move is like over and it breaks it. So like so this
Yeah.
see like it looked see and it broke down here, and then usually you get a retest, and that's like a trap, and then you get a retest, and then it rejects, and then it starts the markdown. But if you measure the whole move, let's see on the top. See, that's like more than 80, but like so try to form a base here, and that was already like 75%, and then this
Yeah.
whole base here was like, I mean, it's more, it's 95% down
I would say that
right
like
now, but
when
like
it formed the first
see,
base, I would consider that like the 80% pullback playing
yeah,
out.
exactly.
And then after that first base formed, that's the like another level down, like another step down after that's like the next leg down based on a new pattern, not still based on that initial parabola.
Exactly.
Is
Exactly.
how I can.
So
But
usually
that's
like
like what looking at it right now, it's like yeah, it's like that bear flag played out, fell, like we lost the support where we were hoping to see it, bounce back over the top of our range, but it broke down, and so it's
2.033.
playing out. It's basically playing out that flagpole length now. So I think that takes us to like just south of 3 cents.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And hopefully it holds there. And then so if that's the case, then what you want to see it do is like uh let's see how much below from current price. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's still like 21% or something. So what you want to see it do is like, because it's been stuck in this like long-term range, then you
Yeah,
want to like see the price go down and form a base and then deviate back up and then reclaim this.
yeah. So basically,
So
looking like that, the trend line that we've lost now, we want this loss of that trend line to only play out as a deviation, which means
mhm,
that when the loss of that trend line, the trend line being, the diagonal blue line that you see on Sid's chart, now that we've lost that, we want to
mhm,
basically push back up to it and then pass above it rather than be rejected. So not actually turn that trend line into a resistance, so not SR flip it, which would confirm the loss of the trend line, but reclaim the trend line, which would confirm this as a deviation and
yeah,
maintain that trend line breakout then.
yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, any sort of like reclaim back into a range, like a big range like this, like once it reclaims here, like I think that would be considered bullish. Like
yeah.
then it's
So that's what
probably
we're hoping for now. So we want to see
spring.
that. We want to see that, but until that happens,
We don't know.
we want to change our exposures a little bit to be not exclusively holding on to wax with at least with our DeFi wallet. So let me jump back over to the DeFi wallet, and I've so far all I've done was removed the liquidity from the W or LSW wax and wax pool and claimed the yield from these two pools, which I think moving into next week, I don't hate being in these pools. Like I think, Woof, especially looking at the chart, like when you had it up a second ago in terms of wax, like it
Yeah.
looks pretty strong. And so it seems like this is not a bad pool to
So
earn me more wax. As the woof goes up, then sure my woof balance goes down, but my wax balance goes up. And that's
KY
kind
had
of
a
what I'm looking for.
question that I guess is a little relevant to this. KY was asking, does Brawl follow Woof or Wax? Like, when Wax goes down, is Brawl going up, or is Brawl more tethered to the Wax?
Oh, I think Brawl has. Let's see.
I just realized that Wolf and Wax chart, like it's in a parabola.
Oh, it isn't Preble. Yeah, let's go. Let's
So
look back
like,
at that in a second.
let's see where it tops out.
It definitely looks like
So how many bases do we have? Usually there are like 4 bases to a parabola.
it's pretty
And
bullish too, actually. Yeah,
so,
let's look at Woof first before we look at Brawl. Do you want to swap back to Sid's screen so you can
so one, two,
watch him
Yes,
three. This
sir.
is the
watch him
third
draw?
one.
So he's gonna draw the parabola of Woof in terms of wax.
So like, so each point where the bottom is, like, I'm just trying to like connect it. Um, so, and that can like give us an idea of like how high can it go. So like, I don't like this week. That wick is like, there we go. So like,
Yeah, that wick.
the wick is like, it, it screws with the chart, but say like, so the, and there's usually like 4 sort of like bases to a parabola. Usually,
Yeah.
but sometimes it can like top out sooner. But like, so if you see like this is, that would be the first. I think like that would be the first base. So that would be one. So each like sort of like range, right? That would be each base. So that would be one. And here, this would be two.
3, 4. So then we'd be
Yeah.
on basically the next move being like the big breakout move before the end of the run of a parabola, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So we're, this is just, it's still on third base, but like it needs to break out. So like usually you would get a 4, but like but it's not a guarantee. Like it can lose it sooner. But like if it does lose this parabola, then it would be a good time to exit and go into wax, I guess, right? Because like this is
Yeah, for this
paired to
for this
wax.
wallet for sure, because that's the strategy is we want more wax, and so definitely now the move for the week I think is going to be to farm the wax woof pool,
Mhm.
keep farming those woof rewards as long as the parabola stays intact,
Exactly.
and then
The
if the parabola
OB
starts to break,
is
we'll try to pull out all the way back into wax and then reassess what we want to do.
right.
Nice, that's a
I'll
good
flip back
plan.
over to max then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me act on that plan now. Here's the steps I'm going to take to do that. I've already come here to the pools and claimed all my rewards. Sorry, from the farms. So here's the farms. There's a claim all button. I've already claimed them. There's only 800 woof left. I don't need to try that again. And then if I go to my wallet tab, you can see I now have. Oh, I also unwrapped my my liquid staked ETH and wax position. So now I have 69 LSW and 56 wax. I have looks like a little bit of brawl still and some woof. The woof was from the rewards claim. So all those tokens now I want to split into basically 50-50 wax and woof. And I'm going to jump over to Wax on Edge to do that because this is where I get kickbacks for making swaps that I'm going to make anyway. So I want woof. And I'm going to start by swapping my LSW into woof. So the other nice thing about using Wax on Edge for this is, here we go, I did max, is that Wax on Edge is just going to find a trade route for me. So it's doing LSW into Wax, into woof, all on Alcor, all in one trade, which is great. And then I'll say swap. And swap that. And just like that, I've secured myself some woofy airdrop for the day for the distribution of the woof rewards from Wax on Edge. Like every 24 hours, there's an amount of tokens that get airdropped to people who made trades that day. I'm also going to, well, first thing here, I'm going to check now. I'm going to go over to Alcor. I'm going to go back to Earn and Pools, and I'm going to click on my Wax Woof pool and increase liquidity, and then check how much woof do I need as the counterpart to what I currently have here. So if I say all my wax, it needs 2.4 million, it looks like. So yeah, I actually have more than enough woof. So I actually need some more wax now. And I'm going to go back to Wax on Edge and trade the rest of what I have in this wallet into wax. So I'm going to go here and grab, instead of LSW, looks like I have some Brawl. See how much that gets me. 18 wax, not bad. Not bad. Done. And what else do we have here? Looks like honey, wax, woof, Keck. Keck looks like it's worth less than a penny. The honey also less than a penny. So I feel like that's going to be what I swap for now. The last few ways I can use to get some more wax to fill out this is the best way I can is on the earn tab while I'm in the pools section here under my positions. I can say claim all up here. And this is going to claim all the trading rewards that the V3 liquidity positions have earned since the week. So all the trading fees there. There we go. Now I've claimed everything. Now I can click on my wax Wolf pool, increase liquidity, and give it my all my wax here. So now it's taking 3.25 million. I have 3.44 million. That's totally fine. And because we think Wolf is going to outperform wax in the coming week, I'm just going to sit on the rest of the Wolf that's in this wallet. And now that that's done, let's see. Yep, there we go. It's in. And now you can see if I go back to farm. And if it loads, yep. And then I can go to staked farms. You can see now here, look at this. 260 wax and 11 million Wolf I've staked, and I'm expecting to earn 16,000 Wolf per day for the week here while I'm chilling in this farm. So here they are ticking in on a per block basis. Very cool. That's all I think I want to do this week with the Wax Wolf wallet. So as a quick recap, Sid and I were looking at the charts. The general market for crypto looks kind of shaky. Looks like we're getting signals that early signals that it might be a good time to off risk and to take some profits off the table. The crypto market looks like it could be double topping and pulling back a bit, giving us kind of like the 4-year cycle that a lot of people have been trading for decades in Bitcoin at this point, where we would stick to that cycle with a kind of continued now 3 to 4 month sideways or negative kind of price motion. Based on that and the recent price action in wax, where on the daily chart we have recently here, I'll pull up the levels that we've been tracking on our stream for year plus now. We recently this week lost the bottom of our long-term kind of like range here. So these two red lines were one of the ranges, and then basically the bottom red to the top orange here was like a range that had been in play for 2.5 years at this point. Either way, the bottom of that range this week was lost. It happened also where you can see we've been tracking this kind of like trend line in wax. We were very hopeful and very much grinding along that trend line until we weren't. And the second we dropped, we lost the trend line and then almost immediately lost support and have been kind of free falling to the all-time low bear market floor for wax. And you can see we actually even wicked pretty much to making potentially new lows. Not looking so hot for wax. And so with all that in mind, we jumped over to our own wax position for the week, and we migrated away from the LSW wax position because that only experiences wax exposure, and we instead bolstered up the wax Wolf position after Sid pointed out how wax how Wolf was in a parabola in terms of wax by looking at the chart on Wax on Edge. So now I feel like if anyone's still following, we should maybe do a giveaway and reward people for being able to last through all of our tech talk. But
oh, we got a grubfish up! Exclamation point neon in your wax wallet if you want to join. I've also been doing some snooping in the background. Found some interesting stuff.
Nice. What are you finding?
Just looking at the accounts, people told us they're like, this account sold a bunch of wax. Like,
oh yeah, he's doing it like in increments of 250,000 wax at a time. It looks like.
I'll pull it up after we do this giveaway.
It's funny. Somebody is sending him messages. Why no pump kick?
I saw somebody else sending messages. They're sending NFTs. It's like, they're like, fuck you for the blockchain brawler scam, you fucking scammer, and they're sending him Farmers World tokens.
Oh shit.
That's too funny.
It's like
there's some wild, like we were talking about that. It was like it'd be cool if there's a way you could send people messages through the blockchain that's like immutable, and I'm like, you can as memos in wax. And if you go onto like certain accounts, there's people that are very angry that like there's also like people that are probably mentally ill that are doing this, but like there's people that send like thousands and thousands of like 0.000001 wax to people and just like rant about like rant and also like threaten people. It's like, if you ever fucking fly into this country or this country, I know people that I put hits on you, like crazy shit. That's like, I don't know. If you get deep down the fucking rabbit hole of whack stuff, there's some real nutters out there. All right, let's do this
I
giveaway.
mean, yeah,
Classic, dude.
There's, I don't know, there's a lot of money involved in this space, and
always fun and
there are some
I
bad
mean, even a
actors.
lot of the hacks, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
you see those like hackers like messaging back saying that, hey, like, or actually the people who found who the hacker is, like, hey, return the funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do it like with a signed message, right? Like,
Yeah.
on
It's like
blockchain,
return the
like a
funds or I
public,
dox you.
yeah, or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's too great. It's funny like how fast some of those like sophisticated hackers get found out too. Like I mean a lot of money gets stolen in DeFi, but a lot of it gets recovered. It's just a really slow process. So you don't really hear about it. Like
if yeah.
like I still honestly think that there is hope for like the Horizon money to be recovered since like 60 million of it
Oh.
was seized.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, it's like that's more than they need to repeg all their assets. It's just that it was seized by an international like investigation, and they're not just gonna hand it back over. It takes like years of litigation in order to like give it to the right people, and by the time you get
Yeah,
it back,
probably,
you probably
like-
spent enough of that money on legal like fees.
Yeah, like, did you see like how much the FTX legal team is charging? Like,
Oh yeah,
like wasn't it like
four
billions
four
that
point
they
four
charged?
$4.4 billion in legal
In legal fees? Like, what the hell, man? Like,
That's
how?
so, like I feel like there's
it
no amount
seems
of
like
work.
they're extorting. Like, that's what they're
There's
doing.
no amount of work that costs that much money, right? It's insane.
It'll finally like be more than like what's payable to like everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's definitely how it's gonna ultimately end up. Is that like, you know what? I'm very, very impressed with Gemini and the recovery of the
Yeah,
Genesis
they did a good job.
bankruptcy. Unbelievable. They paid back at this point 98.8% of everything that was lost in kind. As in, if you lost Bitcoin, you got Bitcoin back. If you lost ETH, you got ETH back. 1-to-1 like amount of ETH. None of this bullshit like, oh, the dollar value at the time of the exploit or some like froggy shit that like sees you getting like robbed.
Yeah,
And like
they did a
and
good
the remaining like 2% or whatever that they haven't paid back, you're still credited that money and will get it. I'm pretty positive you will get that money back too.
job. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
unbelievable as far as like
that's awesome.
the professionally handled bankruptcy like distributions. Gemini did such a good job. I highly recommend that exchange from like
Yeah,
my
we've been
experience there.
using
Even though
years.
I got my money stuck there and it was stuck for like 2 years, which is like kind of what I'm saying with a lot of the DeFi hacks too. Like it takes years for that shit to get worked out. And like for example, the I don't know if you remember the Euler protocol on Ethereum mainnet got exploited. And like I participate in a project called Angle, and they use Euler for like some of their stablecoin backing for SD euros. And like long story short, the hacker, the exploiter, turned like white hat. You know, like maybe like 4 or 5 days after doing the exploit. I think because people were onto him, and like he couldn't get away with
Yeah,
it.
I feel like a lot of them that try that. They're like, oh shit, like we're getting doxxed, or the
Yeah,
authorities
so he
are
was
after
like,
us.
"Oh, I'm giving it."
So like,
He was
pay
like,
us
"I'm sorry."
20% and give
Yeah,
it back to
he
us.
ended
as
up getting, I
well.
think, 2% or 3% he got to keep, and then he paid back all of the money that he stole. But that was like also almost 2 years ago at this point. Since like the day that happened, the reward like the reward gauge incentives that you do, like similar to what you can do at like Aerodrome or Curve, like Angle has that or had that. That got shut down when their money all got stolen. That money was replaced within the week, within like 2 weeks or so. That was all back. Those rewards still haven't come back, and like the
What the hell?
ecosystem is still like recovering, and like they're going to come back. I think Angle is a sleeper play if you like if you really want to get crazy, buy SD Angle because that's a liquid staked Angle, and the liquid stake peg is like it's at 30% of peg right now. So you can buy SD Angle for like 30 cents on the dollar to regular Angle, and once the rewards come back, SD Angle gets paid 100% yield of those
Just
rewards.
a update on this giveaway. I gave away 3 million to Pop and Stock, who got in first, 2 million Wolf to Boom Shankar, who got in second, and 1 million to Yamster, who got in third. The top 3 people got one since I was a long time until we did the giveaway, and I'm going to open it in a new form now. So type !neon in your Wax wallet if you'd like to join.
Yeah, let's look at this fucking wallet that you had.
Yeah, so the first one they sent me was a FS35Y.WAA, and I was like, hey, I recognize that wallet because I'm a fucking loser and spent too much time on Wax. And I was like, isn't that the guy who bought all the blockchain brawlers? And I look over, it's FS35Y.WAM. So it's a WAA versus a WAM, which I'm not sure if those are like one-to-one correlated.
Huh.
But
I
then,
think WAA accounts are accounts from the pre-sale of Wax before the Wax blockchain was live. If you had bought Wax on Ethereum mainnet and participated in the migration, when the mainnet went live, you were issued a WAA wallet. And
yeah, I'm
the
aware of that. I'm
WAA
just not
wallets
sure
were
if
only
if you have the same exact address as a WAM, is that also owned by the person that owns
that
the
I'm not
WAA?
sure. Yeah, I don't know if you migrated to WAM later on, but that's strange that that's exactly the same minus the one letter.
But you look at the highest price. He bought one for $44,000, $165,000, or 165,000 Wax at the time. And I believe he bought a
Jeez.
bunch of these too. If you like, yeah, like here's 2, that one's for $31,000. Here's 3, this one's $31,000. He bought. Here's another one. Here's 4. That one was $30,000. 5.
Jeez.
So is this supposed to be the guy who's selling it?
Here's 6. 7. These are
I feel like
$20,000.
it's gotta be related, dude. There's no way that there's 2
This is
people
8.
coincidentally with the same wallet, also with hundreds of millions of Wax.
But yeah, he bought a lot of these. I think he bought like 10 to 20 of these. But people like people in the community, this is all speculation. I have no evidence of this. Speculate that this is a team associated or a wallet associated with the Wax team, and they were pumping up the prices of the auctions to try to get other people to pay more for the assets. They have said that's not true. So if I take them for the word, I don't think this is associated with the team. But that was like a narrative going on at Wax at the time. And I did a little more snooping. I looked at here's the .WAA account, which also let's show you just talk about I was talking about there's all these crazy I was like, let's see a Snoop recent transfers. Just trying to see if they transfer NFTs between the WAM and the WAA. But if you look at this one, it's like, for your Colossus scam with brawlers, you've won the biggest wanker of the month award. Congratulations, you're a cunt. High fake bidding from your second account, FS35WAM. And there's hundreds of these that have been sent. I don't know if they ever owned Farmers World NFTs or these are just all. He's got, if you look at his inventory, he's got 1,535 Farmers World NFTs, and I believe those are all with disparaging memos. I don't think any of those are coming naturally, but I also didn't look into it that hard. But he has 0 bought and 0 sold, so I don't think he bought any of those NFTs. But the way that I found out their accounts are linked is, which I guess also let's look at like what this is doing to the Wax ecosystem. This is filtering by the last 3 months. In the last 3 months, this has sent 40 million Wax. 40,737,672 Wax to Wax on Binance. And that's in 3 months. So it's averaging over 10 million Wax a month that they're dumping on the ecosystem. But if you also look at this metric, they've claimed 39 million Wax from their stake. So that's just all staked Wax. This account is staking, has 30 million Wax staked. So they're making, what is that, like 2 million Wax a year? I'm not that good with math. Like 5% of that. But Yeah, I don't know how they claimed so much. Maybe they just didn't claim for a while, but in the past 3 months specifically, they claimed 39 million and sold 40 million. So they're just claiming and dumping. And I checked this is like a way if you want to see if accounts are linked. When they sent to Binance, the memo is 106233620. I typed that into this memo tracker tool, and this tells us if anybody else has used that memo on the Wax blockchain. And we do see that fs35.wam has used that memo. So that links fs35.wa and fs35.wam, almost certainly the same owners. The
That's
only
good.
other way this could possibly be is like your explanation would be, oh, I paid someone for their service rendered, and they sent me their exchange account instead of their individual Wax wallet, which is also a sus explanation. But like that's like the only way that two people could be sending to the same memo and not have it be the same person. But I'd say 99 out of 100 times, if two accounts are sending to the same exchange memo, it's the same person because that exchange is KYC to them. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. At the very least, those two parties interact with each other
Yeah,
Right.
if they're separate parties at all.
but since it's the same exact wallet, I'm just going to assume this is the same person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'd
that
say
person,
that's a safe bet.
and also like to go against the narrative that this is someone on the Wax team, if this person's making like millions of Wax a year just from staked Wax, it's pretty easy to throw 100,000 Wax at a Blockchain Brawlers auction. Like you can do that once a
Yeah.
month, and that's not even how much stake you're getting each year.
I mean, if he's claiming 40 million Wax, that's that's $1.6 million. That's
I
just
haven't
from
tracked it
stake
well enough to
rewards?
see if like he sold a bunch that was staked, but he only has 30 million staked. So like you shouldn't be getting 40
Okay.
million from like that'd be years of stake voting. So maybe they withdrew a bunch
30
recently.
million. That's still $1.2 million worth of staked Wax.
Yeah, that's the people that you see, like the people that are greatly affecting this network aren't necessarily even like individual users, like or the average person or blockchain producers. A lot of people are like, oh, the blockchain producer selling $15,000 worth of Wax or whatever, like that they're getting paid to run their nodes are hurting Wax. It's like they're not really doing a dent compared to what these people are doing. Like what's 40 million Wax and
40 million Wax, that's like $1.6 million.
yeah, like compared to the $15,000 that the blockchain producers are doing, that's nothing. It's these people are the
I
people
mean,
that are
the
affecting the
30
price.
million Wax, the 30 million Wax stake earns 4,110 Wax per day in rewards.
I'm guessing this person
About
withdrew a bunch of Wax and sold it recently because like there's no way they could be claiming that much unless they just hadn't claimed in forever. I guess we can search by the contract. Where's the claim?
Yeah, it's further down.
Is it claim BM vote? That's not it, is it?
I think
He
so.
received tokens. Voter pay. Just transfer. Yeah, we can see he just received like 42,000 for his voter pay. But that's like
Okay.
in a day. And then he just there it is. He
Yeah.
unstaked 100. What is that number? 1, 2, 3.
42,000. That should
He
be
unstaked
10
10
days
million. And he
Jesus.
unstaked 10 million on June 8th. He unstaked 10 million on May 26th. He unstaked 10 million on April 30th. So this guy's like unstaking and selling 10 million Wax every month.
Maybe he's like, but he's the one keeping the woofy price pumping, yo.
We would see that as buying, like that should show up on his
Send
account.
him a
Yeah.
memo. Send him a memo. Be like, keep it up. Pump
Yeah,
it.
send him a memo. Keep it up from the Wolf Pack. Woof.
I mean, we
Yeah.
can see, we can search by Wolf and see if he's interacting with Wolf. It's all on the blockchain.
Oh, I mean, like he would do. I would assume he would do it through centralized exchanges. Like he cashes out and then like pumps the market on a centralized exchange. So that
this
it
is a little
arbitrages with other
sus.
people.
I'm gonna say this. I want to say AR2AM is a known Wax Team wallet, and a known Wax Team wallet sent this guy. How much Wolf is this? 2, 3, 50 billion Wolf. I want to say
Ooh,
AR2AM
that's
is the account that pays people, like they pay the partners for the Wax. Like that you see them
Oh,
paying
maybe he's
like you see them paying like He sent money to Sir Woofy, so this might be friggin' Sir Woofy. It's from VPunks, Market.wax. He gets profit share from the Wax Marketplace. Wax from the profit share from Music Mogul, from Iron Maiden Funko, from
Oh
Princess.
damn.
Like, this is definitely... This account's known to be, like, associated with the Wax team, so that account just setting this guy 50 billion woof
50
is kind of going
billion.
against the narrative of this account not being associated with the Wax team, but it doesn't prove anything, but it is suspicious and makes me question, like, is
It
this
is-
someone associated with the Wax team that's dumping 10 million wax a month?
It doesn't
they're-
prove anything, but that is $50,000 worth of work.
They're also going to run out of wax on this account, though. Like,
yeah.
30
Pretty
million is
quick,
going
too.
to last
They're
3 more
fucking
months if you're saying
burning,
10
yeah.
million a month. And also, they're not. This account is not buying woof, so we know that for sure. Let's check the Wham account though, because this is the .WAA. This is only one of their 2 accounts. Wham. FS35 WAM.
The other account also has 30 million.
It might. I don't. Let's see. This one
Some-
has.
I mean, some.
This
some
one only has
people are very,
1,000
very well.
wax total balance.
Okay, I got more than that.
This
I
is
think
the right
Sid
wallet,
Sid
right?
has more than that in his LP now too.
Yeah, well, I cashed out. Well, I
that's-
changed it into, I swapped into stables.
He just sent
Nice.
323,000
dump.
wax to Binance, though.
Before wax.
Ooh,
So this
Well,
guy,
basically when I saw BTC and ETH top out, I like swapped it. I was like, I'll wait for the dump to be over.
yeah.
let's see if
What
the
did this
WUF.
guy?
He just sold like 323,000 wax, sent it to Binance. Same, that's how we got the exchange memo from saying these accounts are linked, is because he sent. And he sent a total of 106 million wax to Binance. Oh, that's the memo. I'm a fucking idiot. They're just 323,000. So he's only sent that recent amount. This account we can see has sent 44 million wax to Binance. So FS35 isn't really the main wallet that's selling, but I want to see if he's buying
If it's
woof.
if it's a team wallet, it could be like the market making wallet too. That just sends like it's not that he's selling it; it's that he's like supplying the market making counterpart to the Binance order books.
He just claimed
But hard to know.
sending to like an individual account though. It's not. That's also not the ARM account that we know is associated with the team. This account is. That's the only thing so far that's seen
Yeah,
linked
that's
to the
true.
team. Although I guess we can wax detective it, right? Like, we already did wax detective, but we're only looking at 3 months. So look at longer than 3 months. 1 year is the farthest back you can go on this. Nope, only these 3 accounts are linked. The WUF is where I got him, because WUF doesn't show up on Wax Detective, but WUF is what is linking them to. I don't know why they'd send this guy 50 billion WUF if he had no association with the Wax team, but I also can't prove it just based on blockchain transactions.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right, then I wanted to look at the other. This is just one of the accounts that's been selling a lot of wax lately. The next one was this Z1HQK, and let's go look at his wax detective and see how much he sent in the last 3 months to Binance. He or she, I guess. We don't know the gender of the owner of this account. They have sent 21 million wax in the last 3 months to Binance. No, that's received. They received 21 million from staking, and then they sent 13 million to Binance.
21 million just from staking.
But the more concerning thing is not just this one account, because I looked at this account, I was like, okay, did the same thing on the other account. And this account is sending to the same memo as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other Wham accounts. And combined, they're all sending like, what's the one we're looking at? Z1HK. This one's only sent 13 million, it says. Which, is that a different number than I got here? I don't know if this is like what dates this is searching. But that one sent 13 million. This one sent 14 million. This one sent 15 million. This one sent 17 million. This one sent 21 million, 21 million, 21 million, 21 million. This is potentially one person that sold like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, looking like 140 million wax from all of these accounts that are sending to the same memo.
So you think that's the whale? One of the whales, at least.
I mean,
Yeah.
140 million that's $5.7 million. That would move the market.
Especially
Right?
for something like wax, right?
And yeah,
Or
this
like,
was sent
I don't
like
know what the
in 2024.
The
This
market
person's
cap's
selling.
only, it's like 140 million is the market cap for wax. So
that's not great, yeah.
Unless you,
yeah,
140
140
mil?
million.
the good news though is this account now only has 108 wax. So like, these people run out of fuel to keep fucking wax. This one only has 200, and they sent in April. So it seems like each month this person's liquidating a different account. So whoever this is trying to exit wax and just happens to have probably has been staking. Like, I bet if you look at these accounts, they've been holding wax for like, I don't know. Let's see.
Since like the last stop
mean,
or whatever.
.WAA accounts would have been holding it since like
These are
inception.
WAMs though. These aren't .WAA. Let's see receive token.
Yeah.
When did they get all the wax? April 18th, 2024, actually. That's from staking. But when did they get the wax that they staked? Now let's just get rid of all of these and go to the last page. 2023, they received, oh yeah, from a .WAA account. And these also is the same. N5HAK.WAA sends to N5HAK.WAM. So I'm just going to like assume here that if you have the WAA, you own the WAM of that too. But so these .WAA we'll look at will be much older. This is somebody. So I think these are people who like bought in during the IPO, just staked their shit for years, and they turned whatever amount they got into much, much more because you get 5% a year, and then they're like, I'm just cutting losses and I don't want to deal with this chain anymore. Let's see this one, 119 pages. This one's been around since 2019.
Classic. Sell the bottom.
Sell the bottom, baby. I mean, I'm sure they did relatively well with all those fucking like stake rewards and shit.
I mean, they just sold like millions of dollars worth of wax. I don't know how much they paid for it, but if I had several $1 million worth of anything, I'd be happy right now.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah,
exactly.
But people are like, why is wax going down? It's like this. Like these people are selling
$4 million in sell.
Hundreds of millions of wax from multiple accounts like every month. And it's like wondering why wax isn't going up in Bitcoin is these people. I don't know why. Don't know their motivation. Don't know why they just suddenly gave up on wax. But you.
I mean, I think, at least from my experience, it's just that the like Bitcoin is the main sort of like market mover, and I think like a lot of or most of the crypto market just like looks at it. I mean, even if it's like traded with like bots or whatever, I'm sure it's like sort of like looking at what the Bitcoin price action is. And I think like that's why you see like when like Bitcoin drops like substantially, then everything like dumps. And then like I think what also happens is like, there's like there are like momentum bots or whatever. So like they act based off like high momentum. So I think it becomes like this thing where like it just like piles on, pushing like the price.
Like a cascading effect kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see here I've pulled up on the US Authority, you can see what wallets they've transferred to. This is over all time, not just 3 months. This person doesn't have that many wallets. So like, I don't know. The good news is that like they're gonna run out of wax to dump at some point, and then hopefully the price should be going back up, assuming there's not just like a league of people doing this, but like, oh, there's only so much wax. Like, how much wax can people fucking sell? The answer is a lot, which we're finding out, but
yeah, tens of millions every month.
This account still has 30 million though, so this one's a little.
Yeah, that's a lot of wax.
That one also, I think, is the most likely one to be somewhat associated with the team, and it's been speculated for a long time. Again, no evidence, but like that Wolf send is a little sus, like directly from the Wolf team, which is also speculated to be the wax team. I don't know.
It's all the same by
Li-
people, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the whole network
That's
of
crypto.
like,
That's crypto in a nutshell. The
yeah,
people
honestly,
moving the whole like space
a
is
lot.
like
A lot of the value in Ethereum comes from like OG Bitcoin miners rotating their
yeah,
Bitcoin profits into like Ethereum to then profit and gain more Bitcoin on the way.
yeah, totally.
Like, and then rotating from like project to project, liquidity pool to pool, and
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen the game now firsthand for years, and I mean, part of like our us moving our wax around every Wednesday is to show how to participate in that game because it's definitely a game you can play, but
yeah,
it's also a game that's it's very much like insiders have an advantage or people with huge pockets move the markets. They aren't being like the market isn't moving on them. The market is moving like with them. So
yeah,
they're not playing the same game that you're
I'm
playing.
just hoping that
Which
those people are running out of selling power on wax because I would like to see the wax go to back up. And when people are selling, millions of
yeah,
dollars worth of a token that doesn't have that high of a market cap each month, like it's very hard for it to grow in value. But I do think, as they
no
say,
doubt.
paper hands will shake out eventually, and hopefully wax will recover. I think now is a bad time to sell wax personally. I could be wrong; it could drop even
yeah,
lower and be like, I wish I fucking sold all my wax. But I've been holding from way higher than like I've been holding a lot of wax since like 60
Yeah.
cents or whatever. So at this point, I'm like, I'm just going to hold on to it and see what happens rather than sell it personally.
die
Yeah,
a
I'm
bag
also
holder.
I'm doing similar what I'm doing with our wax wallet here, where I'm taking my wax and I'm just participating in DeFi in an attempt to have more wax, in the future. Maybe it's not gonna be worth more dollars, but it'll be more wax than I have now, and that's like I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going for at the
I
moment
just think, I
with
don't
my
know.
wax.
I know you guys
I
are all
also
about the
like
charts,
the
but
DeFi.
on the emotional and personal narrative, it's like there is still stuff going on in Wax. Wax has a partnership with Funko. Like Wax does have an
Yeah,
active community of users and developers building stuff for it. There's tokens that like do better price wise that literally have nothing going for it, no utility. Like that red coin is still around and still kind of goes up and down. It's like they haven't built shit for red coin in like
yeah,
7 years, and like if that token
Lewis's
still gets pumps,
nemesis.
like at some point Wax is going to pump again. Is the way I feel.
yeah,
And I could be wrong, as I said, not financial advice, but personally, I've held this long. I don't mind staking it and getting the stake rewards. So then I can be the guy
yeah.
dumping millions of wax because I have millions and just
I
kidding.
I also on like a side note, I also
Exit
feel like
liquidity.
I also feel like I got my cash out not too long ago from that Wolfie airdrop. Like I said, I recently sold a like couple 100 million of those to like get deeper into like some other LPs I like. And that amount of value was almost how much my wax stack was worth, Like I said. So it's like, I don't know. Like I don't feel like I'm really at that. I'm not like at a loss so much. I like wax. I like what's happening here, and I think if they start introducing things like the Counter Strike skin market and stuff like that, where you can trade Counter Strike skins with your wax, um, I'm here for that. Like I would definitely be interested in seeing how those kind of like bigger plays affect the wax ecosystem, and I do think we have a track record with the team behind wax of them being able to actually capture like triple A talent, like something like a Counter Strike skin market, or a partner like Funko, or an exchange listing at like a major DEX, or a major centralized exchange, stuff like Binance. So
Also, like all
Wax
the
team
bridges and
has,
stuff they're building. Like Wax is pretty. Like
yeah,
you can now go to Solana. You can go to uh, Polygon. Right, there's a
Base.
Polygon
Base is
bridge. You can go to
huge. Yeah, there's
Base.
Polygon,
For
Base,
NFTs, there's
Binance Smart Chain.
BSC. Like it's starting to be
Yeah,
like pretty connected. And then EOS is working on their whole EVM, so like hopefully I don't know how far along that is. I kind of stopped following it, but I think soon, if not already, on the testnet they've been displaying
yeah,
EVM contracts on EOS, so like should be able to more easily attract developers for Wax once that happens. I don't know.
yeah,
It
exactly.
looks pretty grim right now because of the price, but I don't think Wax, as far as like a development situation goes, is any worse off than it was 6 months ago. And I do think they're still working on like good stuff personally.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not looking to exit at the moment. I'm looking to like compound what I have by participating in the existing DeFi scene on Wax,
It
which
also
I think right now the Wax Woof stuff is pretty pretty much the meta.
it still is, as like running our collection, a better NFT
Yeah,
collecting experience than any other chain. Like
yeah,
the fee structure and all that, and like pack openings and be able to do blends and like all that stuff, like costs a fortune on
yeah,
some other chains. Like even the ones with like small gas fees, like it's also like the infrastructure isn't built. Like I don't know how to make like a pack opening
yeah.
experience. Like I'm gonna have to go pay some smart
No,
contract
no.
developer thousands of
Or
dollars, and like
even
FT
the
blocks or
airdrop
NFT
that would
Hive, you can make packs for free, like pre-minted stuff. Like
right,
the utility,
or the
like
NFT airdrop we're talking about doing for the Woof, like
bounty block.
that's not something you can easily do. Like, I mean, you need to know what you're doing. You can do it on EVM chains, but it's way more expensive.
It's a free tool.
And
Bounty block whitelisted us for free, which
yeah,
also I guess like we announced it last week, but this Friday, I said this we were going to do it today, but I was like, we should give people 7 full days to unstake their stuff. So this
yeah,
Friday, we're going to do an airdrop or a snapshot for an airdrop of Woof. We're going to give away part of our partner Woof. Really, I did the math, and it's like our first allocation was going to take us like 9 months to give away all of it, and they're going to send us more in like a month. So I was like, we need to find out a
Wow.
better way to give this out to people. So we're going to airdrop to people holding our NFTs. I doubled the number for all NFTs if that's cool with you, Max, because like I did the
Oh
math
yeah,
and I was like,
hell
200
yeah,
million isn't that much. We have like 31,000 NFTs, so
yeah. I'm cool with that.
it ends up being like
Get there.
13,000, I think, per NFT when we're giving away 400 million Woof. It'd be 400 million Woof to equally split between every NFT in our collection, minus whatever's in smart contracts. Like if you're in the Nefty pool, like the packs that haven't been opened, like all that stuff is getting blacklisted. Anything being staked anywhere is getting blacklisted. Max and Mark's wallets are getting blacklisted, and that ends up being like 31,000. I kind of did a practice snapshot, and
Nice.
which is also pretty crazy. Atomic Hub says we have 90,000 NFTs, so like some amount of NFTs have been burned or are still in packs or not distributed, but like a third of what it says we've minted is like in circulation, and 2/3 is not in circulation. So I think we've burned a shit ton of NFTs, which is pretty dope. And then
Yeah, we
the
have.
in addition to the 400 million Woof for all NFTs, we'll be giving 50 million to each of the Cronion every time we release sets, if you get one of each card in a rarity, you get a new card that's our set bonus called the Cronion. So for all the sets, if you have any of the Cronion, we're giving 50 million Woof to holders, split equally of the Neon Cronion, 50 million for Glow Cronion, 50 million for Lit Cronion, 50 million for Dim Cronion. I haven't calculated how much that's going to be per NFT, but
I did the math on the neons. It's about 1.6 million Woof per neon Kronionberg that you have.
that's
So
pretty
if you
solid.
got like yeah, and that didn't exclude the blacklist, so that's just all of them. So, and I think you, me, and Mark have like half of them, so it's probably a lot more than that. It might be more than 2 million per NFT.
Random King said, I still never got mine back from Waxed Out. Should have. Max returned all of the Cronion from Waxed Out.
Yeah, I booted everybody. Let's see.
And it shouldn't have to claim anything. It should just be in your wallet. Like, that's not like a signed transaction thing. Oh yeah, it's showing off. These are my rewards. Like, I need to claim it again, but like, I claim my stake rewards in May 13th, and I got 800 wax. Then I did it again May 31st and got like 284 wax. So I was getting like, like 2 weeks I got like 280 wax. It feels pretty cool to like when you do. I'm staking way too much wax. I have 78,000 staked, but it is pretty cool like seeing it roll in when you have that much staked, which is part of the reason I'm not selling it. I like just accumulating more wax, but because I have this much wax, I do feel like I don't need to like that's why I moved my Woof over to base chain. I'm like, I don't need 50% of my Woof in wax, 'cause I already have a shit ton of wax. Like 78,000 wax is a ton, so I was like, I'd rather expose that half of my woof to Ether, because like I have less Ethereum. Well, actually more in value in Ethereum, but less tokens.
Oh, I see. I have one more person to kick here. Hold on. I'll
Oh, you
kick
kicked
you.
everybody except Random King.
Is that you? Is that Random King? Let's see. Are you? What's the wallet? Has been kicked. 3. Hold on.
3ZIR4.wham.
3ZIR4.wham. Yeah,
That's
is
the
that you?
one. He kicked every single person except you, Random King.
Thanks for reminding me. I would have missed you. Yeah, you were still in there.
Did it on purpose.
Let me see.
Raketon also said, I'd like to see another bridge and more Telegram stuff. I believe Raketon, didn't you just get re-elected? He's a Wax OIG. I think I saw you running. I think that was you, right? I think it was Barcelona was prior, and then Hafer before that. I think I'm forgetting the order, but yeah. Congrats on your re-election. And he said he would like to see more bridges, another bridge, and more Telegram stuff. And I did see a 3DK Render, which is like the Rada Quests guys. They're building like a Telegram clicker game. That seems to be the meta right now, like the hamster game, but for theirs. So it's like, it is cool to see some of the Wax projects trying to like jump onto the like what's doing well in the space, because the Telegram clickers are getting like insane. It's like Telegram clickers are doing what Alien Worlds was doing in like 2021, where it's like, yeah, there probably are a shit ton of bots, but also like Alien Worlds helped get Max and I and Mark into Wax. Like it brought a lot of real people as well as a lot of bots. So I'm sure you're getting both on the Telegram thing, where it's like, I don't know, Max and I are also both playing the hamster game, even if there's people. We saw videos of a guy with like 30 phones with an auto tapper on it. Like, sure, there's a lot of that nonsense, but like, it is, I don't know, one of the metas right now for dumb blockchain games.
Sure is. Let's see if this came back to him. I don't see it on Atomic Hub.
I'm excited. There's a few more people that I need to like. I messaged most people that had them still staked. There's a couple guys like Scuba Steve. He still doesn't have his unstaked. A few people that I haven't talked to in a while hit me back, like Silent. Silent has a bunch staked. I was like, Silent, you got to get your neons out of there, brother, if you want to get some woof. And yeah, there's a few people that I think might not be in the space anymore. But yeah, it's kind of a fun thing for collecting, and we might, I don't know what we're going to do with the next. We get 3 allotments of woof to give away. I don't know if all 3 of them we're going to do this. Like, we might find new ways to give away the other ones. So don't buy all these expecting to get 3x what you're getting for this one. Could be a one-time only thing. But more to reward people that are already holding it than try to incentivize people to buy it for the woof reward. Also, I checked the floor of our stuff is worth like double the amount of the woof you're going to get. So like, you're only trying to get it for the woof. It's not necessarily a winning game.
Yeah, it seems to more serve the purpose that we're going for, which is to reward people who've been holding it and collecting it for a long time.
Yeah, the woof team was like, do you want to like announce it and like try to make it a thing? I was like, I really want people to buy your stuff just because they're getting an airdrop, because then they're just going to sell it like right afterwards. And then like, which I guess, you know, is good for us as creators because we get to make the creator fee. But like, I'd rather have our stuff in the hands of people that actually want to collect it and aren't just interested in meme coin airdrops. But I don't know. We might do something more promotional campaign for one of the next two ones. But for this one, people that have stuck with us through the years that have been collecting for a while, it's like, going to you guys, because yeah, people have been supporting us for years on Wax, and even the people that aren't around anymore, they're still getting an airdrop to their wallets. And if they do come back, they will get the thank you for supporting us. The airdrop is on Friday, Wapaka. So you have 2 days, right? I guess it might be Thursday in your time zone. And I'm also like, I don't know, I have the list of wallets that like anybody with a neon stake just chill. Like if you went, so it was not cheap to get any of the neon set bonuses in any of our sets, like ever. So those people I'm going to, like I sent you messages, but if anybody has a neon Cronionberg like I'm going to add your wallet to the airdrop list either way, and the glows as well. Like I have a list of everybody that had a glow one, but there's too many people with lits to keep track of that. So sorry for the lit people. I sent you messages. If you don't read the message and aren't able to unstake, you'll just get it for all the other NFTs, not the Cronianbergs. And
Yeah.
Rakedan said, I think you should really make a YouTube series about DeFi on Wax. I mean, these are really long form videos, but I will be re-uploading this video to YouTube after we stream. And we do have, they're pretty outdated. We could probably make a more updated one, but we do have like a guide to using Alcor and DeFi tutorial for Wax that we made, which at this point is probably, I don't know, let's go look it up. Check out the Neon Space YouTube. We don't really get a lot of traction on YouTube, so like we have a hard time putting a lot of time into producing videos that only like 30 people end up watching.
Yeah.
Neon Space.
Let's see.
There we go. Minting an NFT on Nifty Blocks, WaxP Marketplace tutorial. 409 views. I guess that's not horrible. Here's us in the Crypto Writer podcast who they ended up rugging. There's so many projects that we went on a podcast for that's like, yeah, they're not on Wax anymore. They use their EOS grant to buy
Bear
Bored
market
Ape.
takes all of them.
Yeah.
There's
they
us
ate
on the
them all.
Uplifters, another, I guess they didn't rug, but they, us on Metaforce, another Uplift stream. Battle Miners, they're still around.
Yeah.
But
Battle Miners has been cooking.
yeah, I haven't really looked into them, but I do know they're one of the few projects still building. But if you look, we have like a playlist of tutorials, I believe. Tutorials and how-tos. We have DeFi on Wax with 200 views from 2 years ago. But this definitely could be updated. It's from Alcor DeFi Box, and this was also before Alcor had the contract update, like the V3 or whatever update.
Yeah.
This was also before Taco Swap existed, and before Alcor had farms. So DeFi Box was the only place to do farms. So I definitely think we could update it, but technically we do have a Wax and DeFi tutorial. And a chicken
That's true.
derby beta tutorial. I don't know what happened to that project. I should check
I
it
think
out.
Chicken for Derby's still cooking, but I
We got
haven't
creating
seen
a
it in
custom
while.
wallet on Blocks, which is also outdated because Blocks is now like the not supported blockchain tutorial. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
we've
now
been
it's
doing this
Wax
for a
Blocks.
while. Nifty Blocks rewards update tutorial. That was when they added the farm for Nifty. And I've been in that farm for 2 years since we made this tutorial. I never pulled out, which was honestly kind of a mistake, but it's kind of coming back, so now it feels kind of good to be in it again.
The bag holding.
How to farm Wax starting with 1,000 woof. That's not a bad idea. 1,000 or 1,000,000. How much is it? 1,000,000 woof's only worth like $1 right now, right? That could be our next series, like, because we did how to turn 100 Wax into more. We'd start with woof and be like, how can you start with 1,000,000 woof? And then you could even like bridge it from other blockchains. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, my Uniswap woof farms print quite a bit of ETH and woof. There's
Hamster
decent,
Combat
like,
on
yield
YouTube.
those.
Max and I play Hamster Combat, but we haven't made any like content for it. I'm also still super into my cat game. Like I got that pulled up like 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
I don't turn off my computer anymore.
Sid
Like
talk shit about it when he saw my cats. Like,
Being like-
Yeah,
my
I was like,
connection was-
why are the cats on your screen? This is before.
he was like, maybe you're lagging because your cats are running all the time. It's just like, nah,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
don't blame my cats.
Here, let's see if I
Cats
can
are
do
fine. The cats are gonna be running.
Look at my
Like,
cats.
here's Lewis's cats. Yeah,
Look how
look at
fat
Lewis's
they
cats.
are. I'm ranked
Mine are getting this fat.
6,000 in the Diamond League, trying to get up to Master League.
Yeah, my cats are that fat now too. I got the level 40.
Well,
I've,
what do you get out of it? Like, do you earn
just
some
fatter
coins or
cats.
something?
At some
Oh, you
point,
don't
like
like-
based on your rank, they're going to do an airdrop of the ICO or whatever is going to be like an airdrop to players of the game based on your rank. So I'm trying to grind up so I get more tokens airdrop to my Ton wallet when they finally do that.
Nice. is.
It's the same thing with the hamster
mean,
game. The hamster game's the same thing. You're clicking it, and based on your hamster whatever per hour, however much you're making an hour, that's how they're going to rank who they airdrop the tokens to.
It's like, what do you get? Obesity. That's what you get.
For what?
Yeah.
He was like, you asked him, what do you get? Like points or whatever. He's just like, fatter cats.
Fatter
So it's
cats.
just
You
like,
do get fatter cats. That's
all you get is obesity then. That's what you
That's
get.
yeah. That's the win. That's what you want, really. I mean,
I'm all about
fat those cats-
chonkers.
That's what you
It's dude,
Fat cat.
it's a really nice experience to like come in, wake up in the morning and see how much fatter my cat's got.
I also still catch it
It's like-
sometimes. Like I'll see that I'm about to go, and then I turn off the auto, and then I manually drag to get the new one, and I'm like, yeah, I get a rush every time. Like it doesn't get old so
Yeah.
far. Pop and Stock saying, I noticed my wax wolf pool was now 94% wax. My range was small. That is what happens when you have tight ranges. Is like the tighter the range, the more likely you are to end up in one side of something, right? Whereas if you have an infinity range, it takes longer to push it all to one side.
Basically, yeah. Well, an infinity range, it'll always be 50-50. Like it'll rebalance itself. So
That's kind of like
that's like the nice thing.
the risk reward is you receive a higher portion of the trade fees, but then if there is impermanent loss, you're more susceptible to the impermanent loss. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. For like really volatile things, Max has told me those are better for infinity range, but for something like liquid stake wax, where you know it's not going to fluctuate over like 5%, like that's better to farm in a really tight range because like you're going to get a higher percentage of the fees. But
You can think about it like this: when you play concentrated liquidity farmer, you're also concentrating the impermanent loss. So if your farm positions constantly need to rebalancing, then you are, you're compounding the losses that come with that rebalance.
I figured that out with my CLM pools with Arrow on on Beefy. Because I was in that pool, and Arrow just like completely shit the bed, and then I was like, oh, my losses are also compounding automatically, so this is awesome.
Yeah. Did you see how many? Dude, Beefy added so many new pools. I'm excited.
I will say,
Bear Signal and Arrow on the weekly, dude.
The
shit.
Do you think it's gonna revisit all the way low?
The Arrow I'm getting is pretty decent though. Like I've been in it for like a week, and even though I'm shitting, it's not doing well. I'm getting like I have like $40 in rewards of Arrow for like a $2,000 to $3,000 position. So it's like it is kind of recovering some of it, but I don't know. And from the sound of it, you don't think it's gonna do anything. But I'm hoping we get some sort of retest bump before I exit. But I also like I hedge my bets. I sold a lot of Ethereum, and I was like, well, I'm not going to sell this position. I'll sell the cold coins I'm holding and kind of let, like, I don't know. I don't mind the LP. Like, if we are going to chop around and be crazy, like, I'd rather be in there than just holding the token. So the tokens I was just holding are not in the LP I sold. And then the ones that are in the LP, I'm like, well, this is at least earning me more tokens so that if it recovers, I'll end up better than where I was. I think it'll recover eventually.
They added farms for tokens that I like. I think are so cool to be able to farm on autopilot. Like they're just like major blue chip DeFi tokens, but with like huge APRs. Like let's see, they're doing like
we're talking about, for the people who are uninitiated, Beefy.finance is like I guess it's called like an aggregator of farm rewards, is what I'd call it. Like it shows you different, I don't know if aggregator is the right word, but it shows you can pick your chain. So like we're talking about base or Arbitrum chain.
It's a yield optimizer, if you will, if you want the word.
So you can click Arbitrum, and then you can choose by APY, and then it like tells you what the APY is. It tells you what the tokens are, so you can go until you find one. I was like, I don't know what the fuck RPL is, or like some of these things are. So I usually look for ones that I actually want to hold. Which for me was
these are
ARB
huge, like RPL. RPL is Rocket Pool, like governance shares. That's a huge protocol. Like that's like the second biggest liquid stake after Lido. And then you got like GMX's token. You got Pepe now. Pepe and ETH has a pool there, which all of these, like with the blue label, the CLM label, that's like a concentrated liquidity manager is what CLM stands for. Or I think they have like a cow.
Set the range and stuff, right?
What was that?
You don't have to set the range and stuff, right?
No, it resets the range. Like, well, let me just read it. It'll tell us the exact. The CLM product. Sorry, I have to clear my throat. CLM product deposits the user's RPL and wrapped ETH into the Uniswap RPL wrapped ETH concentrated liquidity pool. Earn trading fees on swaps through that pool. Trading fees are regularly claimed and redeposited back into the pool to unlock the power of compounding. Each time the funds are added or the fees are harvested, all liquidity is withdrawn from the underlying pool and recalibrated to maximize utilization before depositing. CLM maximizes utilization, I can't fucking read either, by creating both a 50-50 position with as many tokens as it can and an alternative single-side position with the remaining tokens, meaning no tokens are sold. The transaction costs for managing the position are socialized among all the product's users to maximize earnings. It's basically constantly withdrawing and then redepositing and changing the ranges, is what I understand.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So it's if you're instead of doing 0 to infinity, this is setting a tighter range around the spot price, but then it will automatically maintain that, so you don't have to jump in and change it. And then it will also claim rewards for you. So like if you click on like your pool and there'll be like a claim button, you can claim like the ARB rewards that these pools are getting paid. But like it's cool to see all these like, you know, like RPL, you got Pepe now. I see AAVE, Lido, Uniswap token, Curve, like really big like named coins, and then even stuff like Easy ETH paired with Wrapped Staked ETH, and it's paying 105% APY. Like that's pretty much just like ETH exposure. Like that's pretty cool. All these farms were added relatively recently. Like as in the last 24 hours.
There's also tons of
So
blockchains. Like if you're not on Arbitrum,
Yeah.
they got Base, they got Ethereum, Polygon, POS, BNB Chain, Optimism, Phantom, Avalanche, Kronos, Moonbeam, Metis, I don't know how you say it. Fuse,
Yeah,
Kava.
Matisse.
I haven't even heard of like half these shit. Kanto, ZK Sync, Polygon, ZK EVM, Base, Gnosis.
Didn't ZK Zinc airdrop like
Yeah,
yesterday?
the airdrop happened recently, at least to the like projects that were building in it, and I think they snubbed a few people in a way that I thought was kind of messed up. Like they didn't airdrop anything to Overnight Finance, which is bullshit because like they'd been building on it since like the launch of that chain, and then like 2 weeks before the airdrop happened, one of the main money markets on ZK Sync got hacked. And so like a lot of their liquidity got drained, and then at the time of the airdrop they had like not that much liquidity because, you know, a lot of the like liquidity backing was hacked away. And yeah, they were kind of like salty about it, which I totally understood.
They also have safety scores. I don't know like how accurate these are, but you can kind of see like some of these will have crazy percentages, but then have less safety. So it's like it kind of lets you know like, hey, you can try to get your thousands of APY, but like this is not a tried and trusted token or
I
even
love
exchange.
that too. Because if you don't know what those tokens are, you can like click on one of these farms where you don't know what the token is. Yeah, and then scroll to the bottom and it tells you what they are and gives you links
HBR
to
is
their
the
sites and
governance
stuff.
token of Harbor Market, a lending platform on BSC forked from AAVE2.
Bam, there you go.
Why is this on base chain though?
It's probably on multiple chains.
I guess that makes sense.
HBAR.
Just says
HBAR is a
BSC.
pretty big one. They have a pretty high
they're,
paying liquidity pool.
Yeah, it's here. It says high expected and
Also,
permanent loss and micro market capitalization, extreme volatility asset. So, like it lets you know. But then it says like the platform is audited by a trusted reviewer and the project contracts are verified. So like it tells you what's safe about it, what it isn't, so you can kind of like get a general sense. But yeah, I've been liking Beefy since Max showed it to me. I'm mostly an Arbitrum and base right now.
I love Beefy for the fact too that it's just like it's very like it can be very automated. Like you don't have to manage this very actively. You can just set it up once and then come back and check on it every now and then. And like Lewis said, it operates on all these different blockchains. So you can have like if I look at my Beefy wallet, there's like I have Avalanche, I think ETH mainnet, Arbitrum, and base chain like farms going all at the same time right now. And you can see them all in your dashboard, and it's all like really nice and self-contained, and it's all, you know, self-claiming and self-maintaining. Really cool. Exciting to see all these new concentrated liquidity managers.
Mine isn't all self-claiming.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the CLM stuff you'll have to claim the actual
a picture of it.
But it will compound its own fees and stuff into itself forever, and then if you come and claim the rewards once every 5 or 6 months, they'll all just be like sitting there waiting for you to claim.
The CLM one right here, like I have 42 ARB and that's because they're incentivizing their CLM pools as like a new strategy. Like, check out our new CLM pools. But I've lost several $100s to make this $34 worth of ARB, but worth it.
Yeah,
If it
baby.
recovers, then I'll have more ARB, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'm a little hesitant to be jumping into anything besides stablecoins right now, just because of what you guys said. But this is what I'm going to hop back
Yeah.
into when we do think the market's turning around. All right, let's do another giveaway
Yeah,
and wrap this
definitely.
stream up. We've been going for a while.
Oh yeah, and this stuff is pumping right now.
Boom
We're getting
Shankar's
our retest
asking,
before we go drop.
is that how you found the
We
SFrax
may get a
token?
retest at long BTC. But I got stuck in the other one.
I think
Let's
Max knew
go.
about the SFrax token well before BP.
Oh, way before. I've been waiting for them to start that. So Forex, I've been participating in there. I've owned FXS is the Forex shares for the voting on those gauges. I've been doing that since 2018 or 19, like way back in the day. But I love Forex. It's great. It's basically they mint Forex is just a stablecoin. It's a $1 stablecoin. They also now have a stablecoin that doesn't track with the US dollar, which is fucking awesome. But
What
that's a whole
is it
different topic.
stable to then?
It's stable to a basket of assets of mostly Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then some stable coins like USDC and stuff. But it tracks like an inflation index or something, not like a dollar price. So it's worth more than $1 already, although it started at 1-to-1 with the dollar. Now it's like $1.13 or something.
I feel like
But
that's not a stable coin
It's-
if it's pegged to
it's not a
volatile
stable coin.
assets.
It's what do they
We're
call it here? I'll
pegging
tell you
this
what
to
it
a
is.
volatile asset, stable coin. But
It's
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. What is it called? It's called a
Congrats,
Forex price
Tissues.
index.
Tissues is getting 3 million woof.
It's
There's
a
a coin called Tissues.
No, Tissues is the Twitch username of the user who just won 3 million woof.
Oh,
Buzz King is getting 2 million.
yeah.
And who's our third winner? Unco Lover will get 1 million. Congrats to our winners.
let's
We'll do
go.
one more giveaway and
these
then call it a stream.
millionaires.
Yeah, cool. That gives me a second to explain what I know about or why I was so excited about SFarex. So, what Forex is just a 1-to-1 peg stablecoin. And when they first launched Forex Finance, the idea was that you could create a stablecoin that only has 90% collateralization, meaning 10% of the stablecoin supply is uncollateralized, is just being printed out of the protocol. And since that initial inception, which ran relatively well for years and maintained peg, the voters and owners of the Forex protocol have since voted to fully collateralize Forex. So it's no longer trying to be a fractional reserve stablecoin, which is where the name Forex comes from in the first place, from fractional reserve lending. But right now, I think the collateralization of Forex is at 99.8% or something. So they're almost 100% backed again. But either way, Forex, the DAO that is run by the holders of FXS tokens, that also manages and operates this huge stablecoin operation, which currently is like $600 million worth of stablecoin deep. So the Forex token that exists, they have a license in the United States to trade and hold bonds. And they got that, I think, a year ago. And since then, the goal was they will take a staking contract of Forex on the blockchain where people can stake their Forex for 6 or 12-month locks. And then the company will sell the Forex tokens for USDC, redeem the USDC for cash, actual US dollar cash, and then use that to buy 6 and 12-month treasury notes or bonds, basically. And then when the bonds mature 6 and 12 months down the line, they'll take back the US dollars, buy back USDC, buy back Forex, and then use that to basically pay back the staked Forex. And then the staked Forex units are denominated as SFarex. So in terms of what your SFARX is, it's just US dollars with the bond yield of 6 and 12-month bonds like built into it. So over time, basically over 6 months, the value of SFARX increases by the same percentage of what a 6-month bond is paying, which is really fucking cool. And the way that it's not a security is that you're not guaranteed dollars for your SFARX, you're guaranteed FARX, and FARX aren't dollars, which is a pretty clear distinction between creating a security that's backed by bond yield products, because you're not entitled to the bond yield, you're entitled to the FARX that they're buying with the bond yield. So, interesting. I don't think it's a security, but it could be on the radar of the SEC in the future, especially considering it's more than a $500 million operation, and they deal in US dollar backed currencies. So at the same time, though, they have licenses. They're doing all this stuff above board as a DAO that's operating very legitimately and has been doing this for like the majority of the existence of DeFi. And
You know what?
I think the FARX team is one of the best teams in DeFi.
This is off topic. What is USDE and
USDE
USDV?
that's
the bridge, right, on Arbitrum.
So USD.E is bridged
I'll just pull up the picture I'm
Ethereum.
looking at.
Yeah, okay, show me. Hold on, let me make that full screen. USD USDV, USDE. Okay, USDE is from
Versions.
that. What's that protocol, Sid? You know, the one we were trading the
Ethena,
tokens. Yeah, that one.
which
It's
took a big
basically
shit.
those are dollars that are backed by or they're being used to put up like counterpart to option trading. So they're covering, I think, put options
What
on
I think
centralized
they're just trying to
exchanges.
like farm the. They're doing,
Use- They added incentives to the farms, but I'm like, what is this shit? I know what USDC and USDT are, but USDE and USDV is like, you get 5% more APY if you jump into the friggin' USDE. So I'm like, I'm tempted to do that since
the
I'm stabled right now.
I like the USDE. That protocol, it has like I think $3 or $4 billion worth of liquidity
yeah,
too
big.
on Binance. They're
If it's
huge.
the Ethena, whatever.
They also make ETH-E, if you've ever seen ETH-E or WE-ETH. Like ETH and WE-ETH is also the same protocol.
Do they have any on base?
Yeah, USDE. I've
No, I
paired
mean,
that
like,
with USD Plus.
Stablecoin pairs on Beefy? I guess I can just check.
Oh, they definitely do.
I've all got
Yeah,
all my
me too.
stablecoins. I guess it's pretty easy to move my stablecoins from base to Arbitrum, but stablecoins, there we go.
Yeah. There's a few pretty solid ones here.
Yeah,
I
you can do
think.
USD Plus and SFrax has got 50% APY.
Yeah, that's great.
What is the... Okay, you're earning Arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, everything on Aerodrome earns Arrow.
I feel like that's where Wolf should have gone.
I think so too. I mean, they still could. They haven't gone anywhere yet.
And you like USD Plus, right? Because it's just a stablecoin that
I like
increases
USD
in
Plus.
value.
It's also it's fully collateralized by USDC anyway.
Is it on Ethereum?
Native USDC mostly. On Aerodrome, it's on base native USDC.
What about SFrax?
You
Is
can
that
go
on
to
Ethereum, right? Or is it also on base?
that one. Yeah, the SFrax is initially on Ethereum, but they have also their own blockchain now. That's what the Fraxel chain is.
I
think
just want
you
to
can
know,
use
like, what
Fraxel.
risk am I... If I'm in this, and then SFrax bridge gets hacked, then I could lose my value.
The SFrax bridge is its own bridge maintained by the FARX finance team. It's called the FARX Ferry, and it has never been hacked since the beginning of its existence, and it has been around longer than most other
Yeah,
bridges.
either had the Harmony bridge before
Ferry's
we
gonna-
got fucking hacked, so just
Yeah.
it's never been hacked before doesn't mean it can't be hacked.
The FARX, that's true. The FARX Ferry bridge has been around since I think like 2016 or something, and there's like more than $500 million in that bridge. But
I want to
it is
know
a bridge.
what risk I'm exposed to is what I was asking. But
Well,
this
the
seems like a pretty good
ferries
one to
are
me. I don't know how to
So
throw all
basically,
my money in there, but
like,
some maybe.
the way that it works is that like SFARAX on base is natively issued on base by FARAX Finance, but can only be moved native FARAX SFARAX on base can be moved to native FARAX on like the Faraxel chain or on ETH mainnet through the FARAX ferry then. So it's like an interesting like bridge. It's not like that there's a counterpart of it held somewhere. It's like native assets being minted and destroyed between blockchains.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
versus-
It's not just a honeypot sitting around.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, everything sits on ETH and then it's just minted on all the other chains as placeholders. The way that the FARAX ferry works with like the side chains is like it destroys them on one chain and mints them on the other chain, and then the asset itself is native to each chain, which is why they don't go through
like
other
USDC.
bridges. Yeah, like USDC exactly. Where like when you move USDC native like through Circle, they'll destroy it
Yeah.
on base and mint it on Arbitrum. Like they're not like holding it
Yeah.
on one chain to mint it on another, or like it's not like they back all of their USDC on ETH somewhere. It's all like native assets on all these different chains, which is becoming more the meta of bridges. But I like SFARAX, and I am in the USD plus SFARAX pool on Beefy with I think like 5 large. It pays really nicely.
Right now on Arbitrum, you can get 30% APY with USD plus and USDT plus on Curve, which is pretty.
Damn, that's pretty solid.
I think those are pretty.
Check. Actually, I bet you. Let's see. Maybe StakedOut has a fucking crazy yield. Let's see.
Don't you need NFTs for that shit though?
No. That was like the specific strategy we were doing back in the day. But StakedOut has, if you go to StakedOut and just click on like their yield tab and it's filtered by Arbitrum, you can see what kind of pools they have, and they'll pay pretty fucking well for some of the stable coins. Let's see what they're paying right now. Oh, hell yeah. 83% for wrapped Bitcoin and regular Bitcoin. I know where I'm parking my Bitcoin in between short
How's
selling.
this shit?
And then 89% for USD plus, FARAX, and USDC.E.
What am I
on
looking for?
Curve.
Yield?
That's high, dude. That's what
Is
you fucking
yield
want.
what I'm looking for?
Yeah, the APR tab. Just filter APR tab, and then on the top right, just set it to Arbitrum for the network. If there's a little drop down there, yeah. Look at that
USD
second pool.
plus Frax
89%. That fucks, dude. And then if you click the little question mark next to it, you can see what it's paying as. So you're getting 24% as OVN and then 64% as CRV.
We're legit.
And then, or you could just do USDC.E and USDT for 41%. Like these pools, fuck.
I think that might be the
Damn.
same one that was on Beefy.
Yeah, the 41% here is, yeah, probably because it's paying the ARB APR. But yeah, I always check on here too because StakedOut has some pretty fucking fat yields, especially because they get what is that called?
How do you
They get grant.
put 3 tokens in though?
Oh, it's Curve. Curve has. Have you ever used Curve? If you go to
No, I have
like
not.
if you click on that thing, if you just hit deposit, and then click the little like stake your US. There's like a little like highlight, blue highlighted word there.
So this
that's
is a
like
single
long
token that's all 3 tokens?
Yeah. If you go up above that little like hyperlinked thing in the sentence there, down a little bit from where your mouse is, there, yeah. This takes you to Curve, and this is the liquidity pool here.
Okay, so
And
this
so
is where
you
you
can-
enter. I've never
Yeah, you
done
can
a
enter
3-part
with a
liquidity
single.
pool though. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, you can enter with 1, 2, or 3 of those tokens, and then you can withdraw as 1, 2, or 3.
And what
of
is
them as well.
USDCE again?
That is native USDC on Ethereum mainnet bridged into Arbitrum. So that one does have the honeypot side on Ethereum.
I don't like that. Why would they use that instead of
That-
like? Why don't they just get rid of
that
the
was-
bridged one and only use
that was
native
the-
USDC?
yeah. I kind of agree, honestly, because that was the original Ethereum, the USDC, and it's bridged
Before
through the
the-
actual Arbitrum bridge. which is like in order to move it back to Ethereum mainnet, it takes 7 days and a manual like confirmation by a human. So it's pretty hard to steal that money, but it's also it is bridged in a way that, you know, can be stolen and has historically been exploited. But Curve is fucking dope too. If you're on Curve and you just click on pools, you can see what Curve is paying directly, and some of those stablecoin pools pay also like ridiculous APRs. Like,
I think I
yeah,
might
I
like
don't know.
this USD
Usually,
plus SFrax one.
yeah, that's the one I'm in. I like that one a lot too.
48%. Let's see on Arbitrum. Arbitrum doesn't have anything better.
I don't think so. For stablecoins, base chain has been on fucking fire.
Yeah, I might do that. Also, I don't know. I feel like after getting screwed by bridges, I'm not gonna ever put like 100% into anything that's bridge. Like, I'll put a percentage of what I'm sitting in stablecoins into that. I feel like diversifying
Yeah.
in that sense is always like, even like if you are gonna do like when I get back into Ethereum, I'm gonna do some on Arbitrum and some on Base, just in case like if either of one of those gets
Yeah.
fucked, it's like they're probably not gonna both get fucked at the same time.
Definitely. I think that's always a good idea to like spread out your risk, manage that shit.
And you see the
That's
safety
Sid
score
and
for
I.
SFrax.
Sid and I
uses.
try to preach that shit too.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I bet you the safety score is also going to be a little bit influenced by the fact that the contract was deployed relatively recently on base chain, and that kind of factors into their metric. If you read up on how they
It's got
determine what a
full
safety
safety.
score is. Oh great, I was going to say because like that could go against it if it's like a newer contract.
It says
But
low
yeah,
complexity strategy, low expected permanent loss, small
I-
market capitalization, high volatility assets. Wait, what?
It-
Why would either of these be high volatility?
yeah, it shouldn't be. Although it could just be that the format
What's
of the
market
liquidity pool
capitalization? I
is.
don't even know what that means.
That's like how much the total supply of the tokens is worth if you add up the individual token value times all the tokens that exist.
I feel like that's also not true for other tokens.
No,
Over
I'm not sure how that
collateralization
is.
algorithmic stablecoin. That one I can
Yep.
understand.
Those both. That's for both of those tokens are that. I think that is a pretty solid pool, and I love, like I said, Farax Finance. I think is a very solid team and project. I have a huge amount of my liquidity right now in SFarax on base chain. I have a counterpart to one of my big liquidity pools there, and it looks like the APR just went up to 136% for SFarax ETH and SFarax.
All right, let's do this giveaway and wrap this up. I've been ranting about this for a while.
Yeah, hey, if you guys want to get deeper into like this nonsense, Sid and I get into this all day over on like the Maxi Discord stuff. We have we've
Yeah.
also been like
You should share the
basically
link.
oh yeah, I'll share a link. We've been sharing here, let me go to we've been sharing like charts, and in real time we'll also like show like talk about the positions we're in and what we're doing, what moves we're making, and then kind of like share all this charts, like the stuff we were talking about earlier today, pretty regularly. Try to like strategize together. It's pretty fun. Let me share your link though. Drop a link in the chat. You can join, try it out for a month. We do a free trial too, so no risks and no hard feelings if it's not for you, but it is fun. Let's see, why can't I get to the where's my chat?
Sad there's no Counter-Strike
Yeah.
right now. I'm like, what am I gonna do until next month?
Right.
I'm currently doing a WNBA fantasy contest. That's the depths that I've sunk to. I don't know that
Is it scratching the same itch?
I only got in because it's free, and there's like I think there's how much prizes. There's potentially you could win. There's $5,000 in prizes and $0 to enter. So I was like, price is right for me. And currently, I'm winning $1, so I'm in place 900, and the
Hey,
top
that's
2,500
solid.
people get paid.
That's like infinite profit, infinite percent profit.
We'll see though. I have I have like 5 out of 6 of my players have already played, so people might have a bunch of players in the last game and pass me, but I don't know. A dollar is a dollar. I'll take it. I don't know anything about WNBA. I don't know anything about NBA, but even less about WNBA. I do know there's some sort of like, there's some new player that's doing really well that's created controversy for some reason. I see that pop up on my Facebook feed, but not enough to understand. Like Caitlin Clark is her name. Is that right? I don't know. Like we're getting off the rails. Let's see. Caitlin Clark, American basketball player. Yeah, she's been popping up in my feed like nonstop on Facebook, and I don't really understand what the
Damn.
I don't even know if she's in the WNBA. She's still a college player. But yeah, she's created some sort of controversy recently. See if we can see what the news says. WNBA turns Angel Reese bully question into Caitlin Clark accusation. Sky Fever with Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark tops WNBA ratings. Maybe it's like they have a rivalry of some sort? I don't know. But they've been, for whatever reason, that's in my Facebook feed because it causes people to fight. And if people are fighting about stuff, it pops up in my Facebook. My Facebook is exclusively people arguing about stuff I don't really understand. The Kendrick Lamar versus Drake rap beef, that's popping up. I was like, I haven't listened to any of these songs, but let's see what these people have to say about it. And the most recent one is people say that Kendrick Lamar's manager bought listens on Spotify for his beef song to make it seem like it better than was. Like they have like bank statements. I'm like, who the fuck is getting like screenshotted bank statements from Kendrick Lamar's manager? I'm like pretty sure this shit's fake, but okay. So people in the chat know highest paid WNBA player, the #1 draft in the WNBA. Okay, so I guess what's the controversy though? Because like I've seen there's some sort of controversy happening. I know it's not just everybody's like she's awesome, we love her. Like I think something about her is controversial, but I don't know. Maybe we can get into that tomorrow for Off the Rails stream. Did you do this last giveaway? Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks Sid for joining us. Always appreciate you coming on. Chartmaster Sid.
Yeah, we gotta get our positions right. Taking profits, I think, is the name of the
Catch the next
move this week. Oh yeah, my grub's in this one.
Oh, I forgot to say that if you played Neon Heroes in the last playtest period, the claim for the Neon token is live, and that's only live for like a week or two, and then they will burn your token. So make sure you go claim it if you played and linked your wallet, which Max did not link his wallet. Max had a fail there.
Total fail.
All you had to do is link your wallet, and you would have had free tokens.
I checked my wallet, and it was like, there's nothing like associated with this wallet. It's like, oh fuck, I had to do that in game.
Quadrille got 1,700. That's a pretty good amount. That's like over 3x what I got.
Damn, dude, that's like a couple $100.
Quadrille played a lot though.
I think still he's playing a video game now. Yeah, Quadrille 1,700. He says in the chat.
Quadrille staying up till like 7 a.m. his time zone. Because I was playing, I was like, yeah, it's kind of late for me. It's like midnight, and he's like, it's 7 a.m. You're ready to keep grinding to get to the next rank so I can get more tokens.
I feel like that's not even that good then, because I feel like this is just gonna incentivize just your bad habits of staying up super late. You're like, but I'm getting paid. Oh, guess who won, baby?
He made like, what is that, like $240 or more. So like, I don't know. Might be worth it. Might be worth staying up late to grind the cat game.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna think next time. It's like, oh, I feel like this is unhealthy. It's like, but they are
He
gonna
also
give
won
me
this.
$200 if I stay up.
Max can't win the token, so Quadrille got first. Quadrille's a big winner today.
But I won the bragging rights, so suck on that.
Quadrille's gonna get 3 million woof. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be streaming probably around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know. I don't know what your schedule is like tomorrow, Max, but
yeah,
I'm no longer watching Counter-Strike in the morning, so I got plenty of time. Mocha's gonna get 2 million. But tomorrow we're just gonna be watching Off the Rails videos and hanging out, shooting the breeze, giving away woof. So Feel free to join us tomorrow if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah. Gotta get some edit done. Shush Max. No, Quadrilla. I think we all know who's on top. Who's on that pedestal right there?
How are you doing
Who's
on
got the red name?
that collab piece?
Oh yeah, I was trying to have that like tomorrow or yesterday, but I have it today though. I gotta finish an edit and then send that out
Dope.
after we get off stream here. But
I
it's
might
getting
send you
there.
a new song then.
Oh, nice.
Well, a new mix of the same song. Like length or anything won't change. 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last winner was Farmer7620. Farmed yourself some woof. You planted a grub seed and you grew a woof plant. Congrats to you.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
let's watch Buying the Dip and then get out of here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's see who we can raid
Buying
into.
the dip. Although
Got
right
it.
now we're still holding off on buying the dip, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In real life.
In real.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a walk before the sun sets. I think we're about to hit. I think the 21st is the summer solstice, which is gonna be the longest day of the year.
Yeah.
We don't have any wax streamers streaming right now. We got Scooty Puff Jr. I don't know who that is. Somebody at some point's like raid into that guy when nobody else is online. We got Corin Campbell, who used to be a Blanco streamer. The ESLCS is playing a rerun of the FaZe vs G2 quarterfinal. I guess we'll raid into Scooty Puff Jr. I'm not sure who that guy is or what he's doing, but
I like the
gonna
name
raid.
though. It's a reference. Good reference.
What's it a reference to?
Future.
Oh,
Futurama?
DPK is streaming. We're gonna do Pug Wash. DPK is like the Digital Pop Kingdom, like the
Gonna go
Funko
for my
community.
walk, too.
Ah.
It's also been like it's been so hot lately that I've been doing. Is this an ad? I was like, is he just watching? Follow. Yeah, it's been so hot lately that I've been kind of waiting until this time to walk anyway. Like walking when it's super hot out during the day kind of sucks. Right. Do Buying the Dip. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And if not, hope you have a good week.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I am with you, with you.
Happy trading.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all of this whining by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, crush these companies into the dirt, thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the short, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening? Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
There's a lot of power in organization online. 2 million people can get together in a subreddit. I think it's really funny that the GameStop stock is going up and just affects the market in that way. There's 20,000 people live in a Discord who are spamming rocket emojis, yelling, go to the moon.
I love that made it to like the news. There's 20,000 people in a Discord spamming rocket emojis saying go to the moon. I'm like, I am one of those people. Let's go.
Repeating myself, I am going to repeat
Yeah.
myself. For
I gotta
those that
understand.
wanted a Twitch